All right. I can do it?
Yeah.
All right.
This.
Whew, okay, here we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Not That It Matters. We're starting back over.
Little bastard.
I'm not even that close
again.
I'm not close to the mic.
You son of a bitch.
Why do you have...
I gotta turn you down. You yell directly into the mic.
No, I don't.
Yes, you
I feel
do.
like my problem used to be that you said I was too quiet. Now I hold the mic closer to my mouth.
Yeah, but you can't hold the mic.
Why?
Okay, peeking again.
That's because I had it in my mouth.
You dickhead.
How's it now?
Good. Don't yell into the mic anymore.
I'm not. This is just how I talk.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Do whatever you want. Hi, intro the podcast.
Hey.
Do the intro.
Oh, can I?
And 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, all right. Hello, everybody, and welcome.
Peeking again. You son of a bitch.
Hello, everybody. And
All right, that's going to sound like shit.
Okay.
You're saying hello and pulling it away.
Okay,
Hello.
all right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Not That It Matters.
You are listening to NPR.
This episode of Not That It Matters is brought to you by locally sourced coffee beans from Blueprint Coffee.
From Nicaragua.
And hello, everybody, and welcome to Not That It Matters, a podcast hosted by Alex Panu. I am guest hosting.
Guest hosting for just this episode.
Yes. My name is Nicholas Eugene Lanham.
Oh, that is a rough middle name.
That is my middle name, yeah.
Yes. And the host of the show is the wonderful, always wonderful, me, Alexander August Payne.
I've heard it both ways.
Are you sure? From who?
Your girlfriend?
That's
I
fair.
didn't want to have to come out and say it openly.
That's fair. I'm a dickhead.
She said, did you know my boyfriend is a dickhead?
She actually said, Mary, did you know that your baby boy
And I said,
is the son of God?
I just looked behind me and I was like, who the fuck are you talking to?
Mary, did you
Who's
know
Mary?
that your baby boy? So speaking of...
Need a little Christmas.
So this episode, we're going to be talking about a
Suck
comic
on your
that...
penis.
Son of a bitch.
Get on your butt crack.
Oh my God, I hate you. Is a volume of comic that we have talked about.
You're just going straight into it.
Well,
Black
I'll
Hammer?
mention it, and then we got to talk about other things.
Okay.
We were talking about Black Hammer: Secret Origins,
Yes.
Volume 1.
Written by
Jeff Lemire classic.
Jeff
Lemire.
and Dean Ormston. Sorry. Yeah.
On
Dean Ormston.
artwork.
And with colors by the legendary man of color, Dave Stewart.
Is Dave Stewart a
Man
legend?
of color feels like the
Man
wrong
of
thing
color?
to say. The guy with the beautiful colors.
Yes.
Dave Stewart.
Beautiful colors, Dave Stewart.
He does beautiful colors on so many different comics.
Like what? Name 6.
I'm not. You put me on the spot. And I don't know.
Oh wow, what a great colorist.
He does most of the Black Hammer stuff. I will say that.
Okay.
Like that's why that color palette kind of remains the same. Like it always.
That very toned down,
Yeah.
like not really earth tone, but really drab, bland colors.
Yeah, like muted earth tones or something.
Yeah.
He did the colors. He also might have did the art, or maybe just the colors on Maestros, which is a great book from Image.
Okay.
I'm blanking on other
That's
stuff.
a new
right
one,
now.
right?
It's newer. I think it was nominated for an
Newish.
Eisner in 2017.
Oh, okay.
It's a really good comedy, just like a 6-issue miniseries, limited series. It was very, very funny. You would
I feel
really
like
like
all
it.
the Eisner Awards go to miniseries. I feel like a lot of them go to short comics. Like we talked about last week, Flintstones winning, and that's just a little 2-volume, 10-issue thing.
Yeah. Well, I think they do a different award for best ongoing series.
Oh, they do?
Yeah,
Okay.
because every year it's I think Saga's nominated every year. And
Gotcha.
there's a couple of heavy hitters that are always in there. Killer Be Killed was not nominated in that one. It wasn't considered ongoing, which is how all of us knew that it wasn't going to be more than 20 or 30 issues.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
you know it was going to be somewhat limited.
Had to be. Yeah, and it was 20. So
Yeah. Because, the writing in that comic is gorgeous. It's beautiful.
it's Brubaker. He's a legend. You're
author
welcome.
of Criminal.
Yes,
Which
but
I have
also
not
the
read.
Winter Soldier run of Captain America.
Oh. Like what the movie's based off of?
Yeah.
Interesting.
He's the guy that created the Winter Soldier. Because people don't realize that.
Oh, there
that
was no
read
Winter
comics.
Soldier?
The Bucky had been dead since he died in the 40s in real life. They killed that character. And so
in
Bucky,
real life.
Well, that's what in the actual 40s.
Yeah.
They killed Bucky Barnes. And so he was just a boy. I don't know if you know that in the comics. Bucky was a little boy.
He's a little boy that he was friends with?
That he took him out to battle.
Are we realizing that Cap was a pedophile?
Some of us are realizing some things.
He had a little boy that he was friends with?
Yeah, he took a little boy to Russia. That's where he died. And the Russians took him.
It's like B. Birch told which we will talk about next episode when we discuss the terrific documentary Abducted in Plain Sight, which is the most bananas thing that's ever been made.
I know, and especially with as long as it's taken us to get... We've been hanging out for a little while before this started, which as long as it's taken us to get going. If we would have just watched it when you first got here, I could have watched all of it probably now.
We could have watched all of it. Instead, we decided to hang around, watch Badman videos.
Yes.
And take an edible. Which
we could do that.
I will say has not kicked in yet. So halfway through this podcast,
it's going to get a little strange.
Might get a little weird.
What are you going to do?
I don't usually like talking on edibles, but let's see.
I mean, it's happening. Yeah, that was your idea too. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I almost brought him. Ow! Fucking hit my knee on the table.
Conked.
Yeah, I was going to bring him over, and I got here and forgot. But then Nick so graciously had a whole package of edibles.
I still have some left. Yes.
We only did halvesies though.
Yeah,
so it shouldn't be too bad.
No, it'll be fine. I don't take them ever, so it might hit me a little hard. But
yeah, it might be a little rougher for you.
That's fine. But I'm also just like a weak, like little, like lightweight. I was looking for the word. I was like about to say loser.
Weak little loser.
Weak little loser. It's nothing to do with the weed. It's just a fun statement.
Yeah.
No, but I'm like a lightweight, man. Weed just hits me like, just crushes me sometimes.
Yeah, you never do it.
No, not anymore.
I do edibles quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have like a little like weed pen that I hit.
I feel like you don't smoke that often though.
Like actual weed?
Well, no. Are we in that? Like when we hang out, I never.
Well, I'm currently. Today is February 7th, and I am 7 days into no drinking.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Which is the longest time I have gone in recent.
That's true.
In like the most recent decade.
Yeah. How are you doing with it? Are you
super easy?
Yep.
Surprisingly.
Yeah.
But yeah, probably once I get back on that horse, it's going to be a rough one.
I think the thing that like people need to realize, we've talked about this quite a bit. You were never like a full blown, like disgusting alcoholic where like you just couldn't not be drinking in the mornings and stuff like that.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
That's also not, that's a common misconception that is what alcoholism is.
That's what I mean. Like people, I don't want people to think that's what you're saying you were.
Yeah, no, it was more just like, I would need like 1 or 2 drinks to feel normal, which is a very scary thought.
In the daytime?
I have before, yeah.
Oh, I did. Well, I mean, I've day drank with you, but never like seen you like need to drink during the day.
No, it was never like a need to drink, but like,
yeah.
Occasionally, if it was like a little bit of stress, I'd be like, oh, I need to fucking drink.
Have to have it. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, and then it was getting bad whenever it was like my girlfriend would go to bed and I'd play Xbox by myself. And I'd have like 4 home pours of whiskey, and I would just be hammered by the time I went to bed.
Yeah, that's where it gets a little rough.
Yeah, and that's on like a Wednesday night. It's like, yeah, that's a problem.
And you stay up to like 5 a.m.
I still do that.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, I went to bed at 4:30 this morning.
How do you do that?
I woke up at noon. That's why.
Well, yeah, but I
got my 7.5 hours.
Dude, I just feel like I feel so unproductive waking up at noon.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. I need to get back on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you haven't, you say back on, but I've never known you to be on that schedule.
That is true. Well, also what helps me get back on that schedule is going to therapy and just talking about it.
Oh,
yeah. So that usually gets me back on.
Sure. Yeah.
I've had a couple of days this week where I've gone to bed at reasonable hours.
I just feel like it's probably hard to do that with your sleep schedule normally being that late. It's probably hard to go to bed earlier than that.
Yeah, well, what I normally have to do is, so if I'm going to bed at like 5, I have to set a goal for myself to be like, okay, go to bed by 3. And then I go to bed by 3 for like a week. And then I'll be like, okay, now the new goal is like go to bed by 1.
Yeah, yeah.
And I go to bed by 1, and then it works its way down to like 11. Yeah. Which I definitely need to do, especially once I get a full-time job where I'm working at 9 a.m. every day.
Yep. I mean, you never know. That might not be the hours that you end up working. It could be something different, but you need to be prepared like normal people are to work at that time. Like nobody's usually like, oh, I can't make a 9 a.m. appointment. I mean, I would have only had 4 hours of sleep.
Yeah. Not many people are like that.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. Well, it also like, it makes me like push off like other like whenever you like get up at like 9 a.m., you can like start doing like important shit.
Well, you'd probably get up at like 7. You're not getting up at 9. You work at 9.
Well, yeah.
You're probably getting up at like 7. You're going to eat and take a shower and stuff.
Yeah.
Go to work.
You just get way more productive whenever you wake up early.
Yeah. That's the thing is like, I can't.
Right now I just feel like I'm doing nothing.
Yeah. Honestly, these days for me, if I'm up past like midnight, I'm starting to get like real tired.
Oh, damn.
But I also, especially like lately, I've been waking up at like 6 every morning.
Jesus.
This past week, I've been waking up at 6 and just going to the gym every morning.
At 6?
Yeah.
Damn. Good for you,
empty,
buddy.
And it's, But it's like,
that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, because I'm like,
I should start doing that because I don't do anything during the day.
Yeah.
And I just finally got my gym membership.
Plus, waking up and going to the gym is way better than having a full day and then trying and telling yourself you're going to go to the gym because you never do.
Forcing yourself to go.
Yeah, either
like
you do
half energy. And,
yeah, or you just you're like, well, I guess I can't tonight. I just had a really rough day. You just give yourself a good excuse not to.
Yeah, especially like once you get home.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, fuck no, I don't want to leave again.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, no. The worst is if you get home and you're like, I'm just going to change. And then you sit down.
Oh.
You're done. It's
yeah,
over.
you got to just keep moving.
I know. And it's the worst. It literally feels like it's the worst thing you've ever gone through.
Yeah.
When you try to get back up to go to the gym. Like you think about it, you're like, nobody's ever gone through pain like this. Like, I'm experiencing it right now.
Yeah.
But they have.
Yeah. Well, I really need to start going back just because, I mean, it's one thing I talk about in therapy too, is like it just does so much for my stress level. And like, especially like if you're like, my brain has just like felt foggy.
Yeah.
For like 2 months.
Yeah.
And whenever, you just got to work all that shit out.
You do. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all about like,
it feels so much better.
Yeah. And it's one of those things too, where like, you have to like prove to yourself that you could do it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's
because once you do, then it's really easy.
Yeah, especially if you can put yourself through stress, like in the gym, then it's like stress that's put on you. You're like, dude, I've done way worse to myself.
Yeah.
This is easy.
And the thing too is it really fucking pisses me off when you tell people that go to the gym a lot that you just started going. Like the best thing that you can be doing is like getting yourself through a routine the right way. So if you're only doing like 20 minutes, but you're doing it like at like a good pace and you're doing it like good form. Yeah. Then you build up because people are like, oh, you're not running for like an hour at like super. And I'm like, no. Yeah, I wouldn't. By like 30 minutes in, I would have terrible form. I'd be like barely getting through it. I'd hate myself. Yeah, like you're not supposed to leave the gym like thinking you're a big piece of shit. Like you should leave
one
there.
Thing like you never leave the gym. Like I've literally never left the gym being like, that was a mistake.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you're never like, I fucked up. I shouldn't have done that.
I've done a few of that where I was like, well, maybe I should like do like more, and then I went too far, and I was like,
oh, well, that's when you like physically feel like shit.
That's you mean mentally? Yeah, you're right. Yeah. And that's what I mean. Like,
everybody's left the gym after like a leg day or something like that, and you're like, oh, I can barely fucking move.
Although, actually, no, I have. You've never left the gym and been like, I could have gone harder.
Oh yeah, well that's true, but you're
not like you don't feel like a piece of shit. But.
Yeah, you're also still getting yourself there. Yeah, that's the biggest thing is just to get there.
That's what I don't like.
Just to get there, walk in the door, and you've like done it for the day. Like my therapist will always say, like if you're trying to start going to the gym, but like you feel embarrassed or something like that. Yeah, like just get there, and like even if the only thing you do is like stretch a bunch, that's still like you're still accomplishing a thing.
Stretching is great for you.
Oh, like fuck yeah.
And like
that's something I really don't do anymore either.
That's what I've been doing to do every morning now. Even if I don't go to the gym, I've been doing that for a couple of weeks now. It's like I have to stretch, and now it's gotten to the point where I have to feel normal in the morning. I have to stretch first.
Yeah, that's where you want to be. Yeah, when you do it every morning, like right when you wake up, and you do it every night right before bed.
Yeah, and it's one of those
your muscles are relaxed.
Exactly,
it's easier to fall asleep and everything.
And you feel like, especially if you do it in the morning, like. You start going through the day feeling like you know those little times where like let's say you're sitting at like your desk at work or you're sitting at like a desk in school or something and you have to go like get up and get something and you're like, I just don't feel like it. Like you start cutting out those little things that like inhibit you from like just like having like a normal productive day. I feel like like you kind of just feel like you have more energy because you're looser. You
definitely have more energy for sure. Yeah, that's actually one of the things that got me to start stretching and going to the gym way more. Is like when I worked an office job for like 4 months. Yeah, because I was literally just like I'd be just sitting at my desk and I had one of those ball chairs. Did I ever tell you that?
Yeah, no.
One of the bouncy ball chairs that I would sit on. And so I would sit on there, but like I'd lean back a little bit and just lift up my legs and do like abs for like a couple minutes. Yeah. Just while I was working my desk. Yeah. That was the most soul-sucking job of all time, though. Really? Yeah. Do you know what I did? So I was an intern for a workers' comp insurance firm. Oh, wow. And it was great. The fucking worst. Yeah, I've never been more bored in my entire life. Dude. And also, like, all the people I worked with, well, the guy who ran the office is a good family friend, and I fucking love that guy. Mm-hmm. But some of the shitheads that worked there, and really just one person, which I would say, but he was just a fucking asshole. Really? Yeah. Like what kind of asshole? Like I was working there in like 2016, right before the election. Okay. And he was a giant Trump guy. Gotcha. Yeah. Like he would like come in like wearing MAGA hats and all that kind of shit. Oh. It was just like way about it. That's too much. That's gross. And then like one of my bosses was like kind of also with him because she's like from the country. Yeah. and she would drive in every morning, but she was also like big Trumpy.
I'm kind of annoying. I don't know about you with that stuff. I'm at this point where like the only people I ever want to talk to about politics are people that can talk about like both sides and be like, you're gonna have bias, you're gonna be into some whatever you're into.
Yeah,
but I also like. I don't think any two sides are perfect. Like
no,
and that's like
not even close.
But so many people
both sides are
like incapable of saying anything bad about the party that they are for.
Both sides have good ideas. Both sides have fucking bananas ideas.
Exactly, and those are the only people I want to talk to about politics anymore. And it's because they just like I can't. I don't want to talk about politics ever now. But
yeah, I was super into it like right when
the election
Trump got elected. Yeah,
same. Yeah,
like I was super into it for like. Probably a year. Like a year after the actual election, so like November to November.
Because it was our first election that really like started to affect us as people.
Shit, man.
Because that second Obama one, we were still like early, like you were young enough and like where like most people hadn't left college.
Shit. Same thing happens as it does always week.
Oh boy.
As it does every week.
Gotta charge.
Got to flick the old light switch.
Gotta flip the switch.
And charge the old computer.
Flip that switch and charge that bitch.
Is that it? Is that the right one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Should be charging now, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Right. Beautiful.
Okay, so one thing we did want to talk about though is Alex and I both watched a show on Netflix, a great British comedy show called Sex Education.
Oh, it's a good one.
Yeah. What did you think?
I absolutely loved it.
Yes.
One thing that I was really impressed by is that the girl who plays Maeve Wiley, this is the first thing she's ever done.
Really?
Yeah, she's a great actress.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, she's really absolutely perfect in the role.
Yeah.
But it's just a really fun show.
Very multifaceted role too, because you see her kind of like obviously you get to know the main characters,
like punk girl, but also like a very emotional,
right? And she can also have these moments where she's like very like open and caring, when she gets the chance to be.
But she also has like very mean, like spiteful moments too.
Very, she's a teenager, so like, and she's like one of those who's like her parents are gone, and
she's got a great backstory. Yeah, her dad's out of the picture. Her mom's a drug addict.
Yeah. Her brother's just a fuck up.
Her brother like deals Zans.
Yeah, and like was in Texas, maybe doing others like selling like some sort of clothes or like
yeah, he worked for like a weird.
It was Nikes.
Oh, he's selling like bootleg Nikes.
Yeah,
yeah, and then like they like ran out of inventory, so then he just moved back to the UK.
Yeah, it's super. But it's also I think that's the one thing that I would say the most about the show is it's a very like. All of it feels like original and like inspired, and especially in like a format like that, like sort of like teen comedy. Granted, it's very adult for like a high school type of comedy.
Yeah, but it's also, I mean, like that's how sexualized everything was in high school too.
Oh no!
Like it gets it dead on.
I more mean like usually in those kind of comedies you don't actually see like nudity or you don't like they can't like curse however they want to.
Yeah, it's also comedy. A UK show which allows for that too.
Yeah,
especially with like some of the language and all that kind of stuff.
Well, and the nudity we don't do that in teen comedies usually, but I hate to say it, it makes it feel so much more like authentic.
Yeah,
and you feel like
way more realistic.
You don't question at all.
I loved the whole storyline of what's the main character's name?
Otis.
Otis, yeah. Of like you just have like this like primal urge to lose your virginity.
Yes.
And you just get to the point where you're like, fuck it, it could literally be anyone.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's that girl that's
the girl, yeah.
Yeah.
But she kind of gets roped in on that.
That character cracks me up. She's crazy, man.
That's kind of how I was like
her?
A little bit, yeah. Because I was like literally getting like I had a group of friends that had all had sex and it was like senior year of high school and I was like getting made fun of for not losing my virginity. And I remember I just talked to this. I mean, I didn't really ever know the girl, but she was pretty rough looking.
Okay.
But I was like just I was like, I just need to lose this so I can stop being ridiculed for it.
Oh no.
So yeah, I know.
Had sex with her so that you
No, I didn't. I didn't end up doing that.
Oh, good.
I ended up having sex with this girl. Have I not told this on the podcast?
I don't think so.
So I had sex with this girl that ended up being my girlfriend after that.
Oh, good.
But I think I had drank like almost half of a handle of Captain Morgan. So like almost a fifth. And it was like the first football game of the year. And then we went back to
high school thing to say.
Yeah. We went back to my buddy's house and we hooked up like in their basement bedroom. And I got walked in on like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
Like in the middle of having sex.
Yep.
And it was just like not very good. And then her mom called and she answered.
In the middle.
Yeah, I was like inside of her like in missionary and her mom called and she picked up the phone.
And did she like hang up and then you continued to have sex?
Yeah. Yeah, and then I didn't come. It was awful.
Yeah, of course you didn't.
Yeah.
That's just that.
I didn't come like the first 3 times I had sex.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's very weird.
That is strange.
Well, I was pretty drunk all times, but...
Usually the issue is not that you don't come, it's how fast that you come.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think by the end of the first time, she was just like, okay, this has gone on long enough.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds just like
I mean, literally, it was probably like... We were probably in the room for like 25 minutes.
You got walked in on 3 times, plus there's a conversation with her mom.
Yeah. And it didn't come.
I'm 100% sure she didn't.
That's a rough one.
So,
yeah.
That must have been just the best experience for both of you.
Oh, it's terrific. Dude, I've gotten walked in on a weird amount of times, or like called on. I got a
called upon,
like, or somebody like calls.
It's you.
Yeah,
it's
somebody like
you.
calls a person. I got a hand job from this girl like on prom night, and I stayed in her bed, and we were like hooking up in the morning, and then her mom walked in at like 5 a.m.
Oh,
yeah.
I've been a few times,
Jesus.
but not like that. Not like that many. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, they're never
on by mom. Ugh.
By your mom?
No, not by my mom.
Yeah, I've had a girlfriend's mom walk in on us one time. We were like really in the throes, like in her basement, just like completely naked, unfortunately, and her mom walked down and just like it was the weirdest way to react because she literally just acted like it wasn't happening. It was like, I was going to ask if you guys wanted to come with us to Chevy's.
Oh God.
And it's like, oh, you have to bleep that 100%.
No.
Yes.
God
dude,
damn
no
it. I hate fucking
way.
going and bleeping names.
Oh, then we'll just have to
All right, fine.
cut. No, here, I'll just start over.
I'll bleep it. Fuck it. Just keep going on.
Okay. Anyways, so this girl, her mom like asked us.
What was her name?
I'm not doing. I'm gonna start. I should start over. I feel like
No, don't start over.
It's easier to just cut the chunk out, right?
No, just keep going.
All right. So yeah, her mom. This girl's mom was like, "You're gonna go with us to Chevy's," and I said, or she said,
"Should we bleep out Chevy's?"
Yes. Yeah. I mean, they folded. What do they care?
Okay.
Then the girl was like, "No, I think we're gonna stay here," and her mom was like, "I think that's a good idea."
Oh, God.
And she just went upstairs, and then we just continued having sex. So I mean, undeterred.
I had one where me and this girl were having sex on a couch, and I just finished. We're like spooning, having sex.
Oh.
And then as I'm coming, I came in her mouth.
Okay.
And then the second, she swallowed, the door opened to the basement, and her mom walked in, and we quickly blankets over.
Oh.
And then her mom sat on the couch and talked to us while we continued to spoon because we weren't wearing pants.
Oh boy.
It was one of the most, and it just fucked up hair, red faces. And
Dude,
her mom just sat there and talked to us for
either
5 minutes.
didn't know or didn't care.
I don't know. I pray to God she didn't know.
I mean, what would you say?
If she didn't care, that's so much weirder.
Well, what do you think the percentage chances that she didn't know based on everything you just said, like red faces and messed up hair and hastily under the blanket?
The mom's pretty naive, so I think she probably
Pretty good
didn't
chance.
know. Yeah, I don't think she knew.
Then the mom's dumb,
But
and you guys are stupid.
But yikeroos, that was awkward.
I think, I don't think I've ever had that. So okay, I'm gonna tell the story. This happened. This is not me. This is my friend.
Okay,
I've told you this story. I think. I will not mention his name, but it's one of my best friends.
So it's a he. Okay.
Yeah. Well, and
Is his name Michael?
No.
Dwight.
Yes.
Jim.
Oh, I was gonna say you're gonna get there.
Creed Bratton.
Oh. Nope.
No.
Keep going. I feel like you're on
Malone?
you're on the right line of thinking, but where's the name?
Oscar Nunez?
Oh, nope.
Stanley.
Nope.
BJ Novak.
Nope. He has a name.
No, he doesn't.
Ryan.
Who else
Andy.
is there? Oh, Andy.
No. Okay, so this guy though.
Idris Elba.
Yeah, it's Idris Elba. Yeah, it's Charles Minor.
Is that his name?
Yeah. So this guy, he was hooking up with his girlfriend. They'd hooked up many times before. They'd never had sex, but they were hooking up at his parents' house. And the way his parents' house was set up, basically, when you walked in the front door, you walk into it's a
like a sitting room,
not a split level but it's like the garage, and there's like a little living room, and then everything else is upstairs.
Oh, okay,
it's one of those, you know. That room that's down there was divided into two. So when you walk in the front door, you see that room and the stairs, and then if you look through the doors that separate that room, you can see into the room they were in.
Oh, okay.
So they could see straight in there. So this guy's parents get home, and they're hooking up. She's giving him a hand job.
Okay. She wasn't filleting?
No, they did not do that.
Okay.
They weren't doing that. This is high school.
It's above their pay grade.
Yeah. This is high school. So, it's still people's lines of where they want to be are very different. But, his parents come home. This girl who's naked completely at this point runs into the bathroom, which is like right by where they're at on this futon.
Okay.
He throws a blanket over himself and is like trying to like use his foot to get his shorts to put them on.
Yeah.
So his mom, like they're like, hey, to this person, and they walked upstairs, and his mom comes down and is like, hey, will you let the dog out of the back, because the back door's right by the futon. And he's like, sure. And she goes, okay. She goes in the laundry room. It's like right there. And then he just is sitting there waiting, trying to get to his shorts. And she comes out and she's like, hey, are you going to let the dog out? And he's like, yeah, I will. And she's like, all right, do it. And he's like, I will. And she's like, do it now. And he's like, I can't. And she goes, why? And he goes,
what an asshole this mom is.
Oh, and he goes, blank, his girlfriend's name, was giving me my first hand job.
Oh, God damn it. Holy shit.
Yep.
Dude, your first hand job and you have to...
It wasn't his first. He just said that as part of his excuse.
That's so much worse, though.
It's so much weirder.
Yeah, just say I was getting a hand job.
Yeah, not my... Why do you say my first?
My first. Ew.
So, also, because, in that middle of that time...
Had he made cumsies?
No.
No, he hadn't come yet?
No. And his mom was like, let the dog out. She goes in the bathroom and she comes back out and goes, let the dog out. And then his girlfriend's in the bathroom and yells like, oh, like, can you get me a tampon? It's like that time of the month. And his mom goes, yeah, I will, but let the dog out first. She knew, man. And they're very religious. Like his dad is like a pastor kind of like, and it's like,
so very like sexually repressed too.
Yeah. And like, his
God.
His go-to move was to...
It's my first hand job.
Also, at one point, he did something... This guy he's one of my favorite people. He's just so funny. Like, he's got such weird idiosyncrasies.
Yeah.
So one time he skipped class. He's going to a community college, and he decided he was going to skip class, but he couldn't go home. So he bought himself a Motel 6, like a room in Motel 6. He went in, he took a shower, and then he got a refund because he realized he didn't need that.
Yeah.
And so he left a receipt for it in his trash, and his parents are crazy, and they like went through his trash.
Oh my God.
And guess what he told them? Not that he was there with his girlfriend, but that he and I got the room. Not that we had sex, but all he said was that, oh yeah, Nick and I got that room.
And then I took a shower.
Well, he didn't say that. That's all he said was Nick and I got that room. Which is worse.
So weird.
He didn't say why or anything like that.
What the fuck?
So I'm sure that his parents...
Dude, if I was a parent, my immediately thought would be like, okay, well, they were doing drug, like they were...
Or they fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, knowing you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I fuck.
You are a power bottom.
Yeah, they knew I fuck. No matter who it is.
Oh my God. Do you remember that like in high school, like hotel parties?
Yes. Yeah.
When like everybody would pitch in on like a motel.
Yeah. Dude, that Motel 6, there's one here in Fenton, like a place in Fenton called Fenton here in St. Louis, but everybody's got that one that like is close by-ish to where you live.
Yeah, ours was like 15 minutes away, so it's not like you would see anybody that you knew.
Was yours the one in Eureka?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the one like on the way to Six Flags. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we went to that one.
I've been to that one.
Yeah. Yeah, and it would just be, you'd always get a smoking room and everybody would just smoke cigarettes and everybody brought in just the booze they could sneak from their parents or that they had like a hookup guy.
You know what I hated about those parties though? Is that people had this combination of wanting to be cool and like the first person, like not the first person, but like to like keep up with everybody else, and they'd also want to be as drunk or like fucked up as possible. Yeah, and people would like hook up with each other like in front of like all of just like.
Well, that's like the.
It just makes me so uncomfortable.
That's like when we went to a film party, and two people did that in front of everybody too.
Yeah, but
that was recently, and these people are adults.
Well. But they're like sexually repressed adults. Repressed adults, and
well, kind of religious too, right?
Yeah, that's the cause of both the repression.
Yeah, but like it was like everybody was hanging around. It was like 8 guys and I think 2 girls,
2 other girls, yeah,
2 other girls, and then these two were like rolling on the ground,
animal style on each other on the ground.
Yeah, like licking faces and like just gross shit.
Well, licking faces and like rubbing in each other, but like not the genitals.
Yeah, like rubbing each other's like arms really not
It was
like really hard.
It was like it's like they sprinted as fast as they could to almost second base, and they were just loving not being there yet.
Yeah.
Like they were in a rundown with the first baseman and the second baseman, and they just loved it.
They just kept running back and forth.
And they're like, they're going back and forth. And that was the best place they could be in.
Oh, it's one of the best metaphors of all time. Holy shit.
Because that's what they were doing.
Oh my God. They hit like a semi-deep single.
Yeah. And they thought they could turn it into two.
Sprint to two.
But they got caught in a rundown and they loved it. Oh boy.
Oh my God.
But yeah. And we got to watch that game happen.
Yeah.
We were in the audience.
Oh God, he had to be like, just like as fully erect as humanly like especially like somebody that doesn't have like a lot of experience too.
Yeah,
like those first
guy.
couple times when you're in like a hard makeout.
Yeah,
like it's like you're so hard your dick hurts.
Yeah, and you're not like
I literally could not get like another drop of blood in my dick right now,
yeah,
or else it might explode.
So you're just rubbing it as aggressively as possible on like on somebody else's leg,
violently rubbing.
And like
trying to start a fire
that and
the friction.
And the sad thing is like we're all now at that age. Like when you're like in your knees, these kids go to college with us, so we're a couple years older than them, but we're all in like our mid 20s.
They're like 21.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Like so we've all done that thing where you're like 14 and that's what you're doing. They're in their early 20s doing that as though it's never happened to them before. So we're all like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
What was your first like real sexual experience like with a girl? Like what were the circumstances? Because I feel like when the first time as a dude especially, we're just like so excited that anybody wants to acknowledge that we have a penis, like us specifically.
I was dating a girl.
You'll do whatever.
I was dating a girl like freshman year of high school.
Yeah.
And she was just like over to watch a movie. And I was just like, I like fingered her and was making out with her on my couch.
Yeah.
And then I remember like we were still like fingering and making out, and she was like rubbing my dick over my jeans.
Yep.
And then I remember like a knock on the basement door and my mom opening it and saying that like her dad was there. And like I didn't have time to like wash my hands or anything like that.
Yeah.
And I remember shaking the dad's hand.
Oh no!
With like his daughter's pussy juice on my hand.
Shit. Oh man,
that's like the real like first like big one.
Yeah, mine's very similar. Mine is I went to a girl's house. She AIM messaged me that her parents are going to be like leaving for a couple hours.
Was that her like going away message?
No,
it was like parents gone for a few hours, gonna get some dick.
I will say I'm pretty sure my away message was about to have the best time of my life.
Oh,
like as a joke, because I knew that she I didn't know that we were going to hook up.
You're such an eager boy.
No, I didn't know we were going to hook up. I'm saying that was like you know you had like posted away messages, like you could just post the same one, like you just click the one you always used.
Yeah.
So I'm saying the irony is that was my go-to away message, and I just put that up.
Okay, gotcha.
No, I didn't know that's what we were doing.
I thought you put it there, like just being really hopeful that it would happen.
No, because I was like 13, so honestly, I just assumed we were gonna like literally. I was like, oh, maybe she's got like a cool video game we're gonna play or something. I feel like maybe we'll make out. We made out,
but you guys are playing with different joysticks.
Yes, very different.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I didn't want
to get it.
What is it?
Joystick?
I thought it was a disco stick.
like the immortal Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga. So I get there and she's like, she's like instantly just like starts making out with me, like up against like the door, and I was like, oh, this is more than I thought that was gonna happen.
Yeah.
And she like grabbed my hand and she's like, do you know what I want you to do with that? And I was like, this is too much for me.
Did you leave?
No.
Oh, okay.
But then like, because I more meant like I was just like, this is just like a steamy moment.
Yeah.
And I fingered her in her
like
bedroom.
An old man.
I literally, that's what I was thinking. Oh, literally, I go.
It's such a steamy.
What I was gonna say was I fingered her.
You're making out with Katharine Hepburn.
Yeah.
Real steamy.
I was like, yeah, Bob, this is real steamy. See. We made out in her bed. I fingered her, and I was like, and then she like gave me like a weird like half hand job.
Oh, those are fun.
I told you about this. She squeezed it as hard as she could.
Oh,
and only did upstrokes.
Only did upstrokes.
But you know that's life.
God damn it.
But then right afterwards, we were laying there. We were like out of breath, as though we had sex.
Yeah.
And I literally just remember going, I wish I had a cigarette right now.
Oh, God.
I'm just like a 70-year-old man. I think that.
I wish I had a cigarette and you were 13.
Well, I was meant because you see like those old movies where like Clark Gable's like smoking a cigarette.
It wasn't because you were smoking.
No,
at the time.
No,
you literally just thought. You thought that's what happened?
Yeah.
Every time after any sort of like, physical intimacy?
Well, I thought like that's what cool guys said.
Smoke a ciggy?
That's what cool guys would do.
Oh, God.
Because that's what Clark Gable did.
I remember an embarrassing time when I was in college, when I was at Mizzou.
Yeah.
I hooked up with this girl and we had sex.
Oh, no.
And then I came, but she didn't. And she was like, you want to go for round 2? And I said... No, I want to go smoke a cigarette. And I walked out of the room and smoked a cigarette.
Dude. Yep.
God damn it.
I've had
There's so many embarrassing fucking sex stories.
I told you about that girl that like
sex education is what brought us to it, but
yeah. I told you about that girl that one time that was like, do you want to make me bleed? Like that's like what she said. Yeah. I had another girl one time that asked me if she could pee on me too. That was fun.
And you said no?
I never said that. Yeah,
Jesus.
I did. Of course I did.
God, it's so hot.
No, there's my friends have a video from like, well, it's video of them hearing me outside the room while this girl, you can hear her and then she's like, make me bleed. And I'm like, no. And she's like, I was really drunk. Yeah, I was really drunk.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Make me bleed?
Well, no. And then she's like, I'm going to hit you. And I was like, this can't be what you want. It just sounds so sad. And she's like,
can't be what you want.
I felt bad too because I feel like she thought that like we were going to be like kindred spirits in terms of that stuff.
And you were shaming her.
I was not shaming her.
You were shaming her sexual desires.
Well, she was trying to beat me.
That's fair.
Yeah. She had like her hand in the air, like she was going to slap me in the face. And I was like, I literally was like, this can't be what you want.
I've never like done that, so I don't understand it. But at the same time, I kind of get it.
Yeah. You can hear me at one point go, I was like, you're such a nice person.
Yeah. I hate myself enough that I kind of get it.
You do?
A little bit.
Yeah. Well, no, I get like doing like whatever, but like, I feel like she like quintupled down. Like the first time I wasn't into it. The second time I wasn't into
bleed, and then she wanted to hit you.
That's the thing is she went too fast out of the box with make me bleed. Like I think she thought I was going to be into that, and I was like,
well,
no.
maybe she like just watches like really fucked up porn, and that's what she thought.
Yeah, that could be because this was high school.
Yeah, she's probably still very inexperienced. Make me bleed. That's some weird fucked up family dynamic. If that's your go-to,
I mean, maybe, or it could be
like your parents probably like fought a lot, like physically fought.
Well, but now we know, like from psychology, it could have been that she watched like one movie when she was 6 that was like pretty bloody. Yeah, and she had like some sort of sexual arousal to it, and now that's just her thing. Yeah, that's what's fucked up about that. Now we know
Burt Reynolds and a lot of blood, and she's like, "Oh, I'm good."
Literally, probably, or it could have been like her watching like Bill and Ted, and there was like some scene with blood in it, and she saw Keanu Reeves, and she's like, "All right, that's what gets me going."
I thought she was just only into cowboys named Billy.
Yeah.
Whoa, it's Billy the Kid.
Whoa. Those are great movies.
Dude. Oh, those are great
movies. They both hold up. They're making the third one.
Are they really?
Yeah, I think it's coming out this year or next year.
Oh, shit. Because Alex Winter hasn't done much. Well, he's like a documentarian.
Right. I was going to say he does a lot of like nonfiction stuff.
Successful documentarian.
Non-narrative stuff, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, he's fairly successful, though. I don't remember any of his, like, I don't know any titles off the top of my head, but
he's, him and Keanu Reeves are like really good friends, though, I know.
Oh, they gotta be.
Yeah, I feel like
they're, especially like when you meet somebody like that early on in your career.
Right, that's what I was gonna say.
That's like I feel like that's why like Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet are such good friends.
Yeah. Well, obviously,
like weren't
Affleck and Damon already friends before Good Will Hunting and all that? Like they were.
I think so
because they're obviously one of the most famous like best friends in Hollywood type of thing.
Well, speaking of that, we should talk about it. Ben Affleck is out as Batman.
Ben Affleck is out as Batman. He's outed himself as Batman.
Yeah. I'm coming out of the closet as Batman.
Yeah. I wanted to finally tell everyone my truth. Yeah. I'm Batman. Yeah.
I'm Batman. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah, me too.
I fucking hated him as Batman. I wasn't a big fan. I mean, I'm not a fan of those movies in general.
I didn't like his. I think he's like a good Batman that's like severely mischaracterized.
You think?
Yes. Batman doesn't kill. He doesn't do a lot of like. He looks good as Batman. His Bruce Wayne's pretty good. Like I thought. Yeah. And he's especially in BVS when he was in really good shape.
Like, yeah, because in Justice League he's really fat, isn't he?
Dude, he's not really fat, but like there's.
Well, he's certainly bigger than BVS.
Yeah, there's that very uncomfortable scene where he and Wonder Woman are like in a room, and he's clearly supposed to be shirtless, but instead he's wearing like a really tight
spandex shirt. Yeah,
like spandex shirt.
And it has like airbrushed abs on the shirt.
Yeah, it's so bad. And if you look at some of those Justice League promos, there's like a clear like slight gut through the bat suit.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, man.
It's got a little front pouch.
Yeah, and you know what's funny is I don't give a fuck. Like you can have a gut. Like I'm not like fat shaming or anything like that, but I do feel like if you're going to play a superhero, you should be holding yourself to like that standard of like,
yeah,
like you don't have
like
to be
superhero bodies.
Not everybody has to be Chris Hemsworth, but I mean, like you should be like
everybody should though. God damn it,
if you can be,
dude.
That's true.
I would suck that guy's dick out of respect.
Yes,
just for the glory.
Yes,
that is his frame.
Yes.
What? How big? How big of a dick do you think Chris Hemsworth has?
I would guess.
I feel like it's like slightly less wide than like a Coke can, and it's like a Coke can and a half.
Oh, you think
like
it's
long? I think he's got a monster.
That is not. That's not like a real penis.
Yeah, I think he has a James Woods level dick, or who's the guy who plays Green Goblin and
Willem Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe has like a legendarily long dick.
Oh, I see. What I bet is because he's so hot and awesome.
It's probably small.
No. I bet it's just super average, but he's probably like a wizard in the bedroom.
Oh, for sure.
I feel like
if you're that physical,
he would just dick me down so good, and I'd be so. Oh, I'd be so cool with it.
Yeah. You couldn't even be a power bottom. Like, there's too much power as a top.
I was gonna say he would have all the power.
Dude, the amount of stamina that man has.
But it'd be that kind of blissful, like I'm so free. I have none of the power. I'm just like, take me in your arms, Chris.
Yeah. See, you're thinking that. I'm thinking like he would prone bone me.
Oh, he
like
would.
I'm laying down, just straight.
See, if I'm going to get dicked down by Chris Hemsworth, it's an all-day, multifaceted, Act 1, Act 2, Act 3 affair.
Yeah.
Like, Act 1 is with this beautiful bliss. Act 2 is where he just fucking pounds
wrecks
me.
your world, yeah.
And then Act 3 is this like sort of we like make love.
It's a loving slow
candlelight,
one. Okay.
yeah. And
I don't even need candlelight.
You're right. It's just open outside in a field.
Yeah. Oh, goddamn.
I'd have like Fabio hair. He would also have Fabio hair.
I don't even care if I get chiggers or ticks.
Oh, I want them. I want to have something to remember him by.
Oh boy.
Because we know he's not giving me an STD. He's clean. So I need chiggers and ticks to really just give me a bite so I can look at it and be like, yep, that's from Chris.
Give you a bite?
Yeah.
Like bite a piece of your skin off?
Well, chiggers and ticks are going to bite you.
Yeah.
What do you think they do? You think they just
I rather have
cling on?
I rather have just like I don't know. I was going to say a tattoo of his dick.
Where?
Like on my butt cheek. I said like Chris was here.
What you should have him do is slap you as hard as he can against your ass cheek, and then tattoo what it leaves.
Oh yeah, that could be good.
And have him like autograph it. Yeah.
Like a permanent slap mark.
Yeah. Have you seen these people? Have you ever been to a party? Because I went to one not too long ago where somebody had a tattoo gun and was letting people tattoo them with it.
Oh Jesus Christ, that's an awful idea.
You can buy them. You know what I mean? Like,
they're
buy
not super expensive either.
No,
like under $1,000.
And people were just like, he was just like, yeah, you can tattoo me. And it made me think of this show Love that I've just been watching, where somebody does that in the show. And in the
Judd
Apatow, dude. If you look at the people that directed those episodes,
Paul
too,
Rusty Rust.
Yeah, it's an industry show. You can tell it's an industry. It's like a show made by people in the industry for people in the industry.
Who's the big director on there? The
John Slattery, Michael Showalter.
I love.
I'm
Michael
blanking
Showalter
on another really huge one,
dude. All Michael Showalter and David Wayne, films are. I mean, works of art in terms of funny.
I'm gonna look up. I'm missing another big director, but there's an episode of Love where they do that, where there's a guy who has a tattoo gun and he's asking people to tattoo him like whatever you want, and he's kind of he gives this whole speech about how he's like cool with whatever you put, because he's like, it's like having somebody that I don't know with me, and like this cool like way of remembering like events in my life and stuff like that. So the main guy, Paul Rust's character, sees a mole on his back and tattoos a circle around it and then a little arrow and just puts sarcoma.
Oh yeah.
And the guy's like, he's like, what the fuck is wrong with you, man?
That's a very funny tattoo, though.
I think it's great.
It's hilarious.
But, hold on. Let me look at this list of episodes.
Haha, I have cancer. Get it?
Yeah, you get it. It's so funny.
Yeah, I get it. But I'll probably get a little bit of skin cancer.
You could.
I've gotten sunburns.
Steve Buscemi. He directed a bunch of episodes.
Steve Buscemi?
Yeah.
So weird.
Dean Holland is another guy.
Dean Holland, the actor?
Film editor, television director, and producer, best known for working on Entourage and the comedy shows The Office and Parks and Recreation.
Oh, okay.
See, that's the thing. So that show is like an industry show because it's about a guy who works as a teacher on the set of a TV show. And
that's Paul Rudd's character?
Yeah, he works as a teacher on a TV show.
Oh, okay.
And then the main girl, Jillian Jacobs' character, she works as a producer on like a podcast, like a radio TV show. She does like a satellite show and then a podcast.
Very LA industry show.
But it's also like a show that's used like John Slattery, Michael Showalter, and like Steve Buscemi and Dean Holland. These are all people that are like not big in directing TV and are trying to get into it. So they use that show as a vehicle. Judd Apatow's youngest daughter, who's trying to become an actress, they use that show to get her on the show. Paul Rust is mainly a TV
who's
writer.
The Iris one? Is it Maud or Iris?
Iris. Maud is, she's the older one. Iris, so yeah, the girl that Paul Rust's character is teaching, like the girl he's like on that show her name's Aria on the show, and he's teaching Iris Apatow.
Oh, okay.
So it's very much like a show that's like made to like as like an industry people in the industry probably love the show.
Yeah.
Because they also show like writers' rooms the way they really are, and they show all this kind of like industry stuff to like show what it's really like. And I feel like they make a point to like I feel like they're making a point to make a show for people that are like in that world.
Yeah.
Felt like that to me.
Or not even, maybe not in the world, but are educated of like the minutia of actually running TV shows.
Because they use a lot of terminology and stuff that like we've learned in film school that most people I feel like wouldn't use.
Like what?
Well, like scripty and stuff like that. Calling people by like positions like
but like
you wouldn't
shorten
know.
Names. And,
and like in writers' rooms, like talking about like
they talk about like G&E and all that kind of stuff.
They don't say grip and electric. Or like, obviously nobody would even know G&E means, but they also show writers' rooms, like they show the whiteboards, how they outline, like, and they talk about show like Bibles and stuff.
Yeah. They talk about like big character arcs and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And you don't realize like how they talk about like, there's literally a show where the plot is like him figuring out how a TV like pilot script is bought or like a spec script is bought and stuff. It's very,
I feel like in the industry, like there's got to be so many of those, especially like all of the like shows about getting shows made. And
are there a lot of those?
Yeah, or like shows about like actors trying to get jobs and like all that kind of shit.
Actors trying to get jobs, I feel like more
like
so.
Entourage is
that one I always forget is what that is, you know?
Yeah, it's exactly what it is.
I know, but you don't think about Entourage as about Vinny getting jobs.
I feel like just Hollywood in general is so like self-sucky. Like just like jerking themselves off a lot of times.
Yeah.
Like La La Land is that way. La La Land is like literally
it's like a love letter to that.
It's a love letter to Hollywood. Yeah.
Some of it and
just sucking Hollywood's like it's Hollywood sucking its own dick.
Yeah, I was gonna say because like some aren't that way. Like Adaptation is not that way. It shows
Adaptation.
That's the one with Nicolas Cage where it's like him writing the screenplay. Yeah. Like it's what's his name?
A fucking weird movie. It's Charlie Kaufman.
Yeah, Charlie Kaufman writing a screenplay about himself writing a screenplay about a movie or about a book. I mean, about a book he felt like he couldn't adapt.
Yeah,
it's so I mean, and sometimes they show like the real peek behind the curtain. Crashing is that way with stand up and kind of acting a little bit too.
Yeah,
because they show real people like like the real comedians. Every episode has like a different real like famous comedian in it.
Yeah, there's a lot of comedians in that show.
Pretty often. The first seasons aren't they all named like T.J. Miller or each episode
everybody
is
just
called?
plays themselves.
No. I meant like each of the episodes in just the first season I think were called like T.J. Miller, Sarah Silverman.
Yeah, I think so.
Like so the first season was like themed around that.
Yeah, this one is just like now it's just like comics make appearances.
Yeah. Because he's
like David Tell is pretty prominent in the last episode of Crashing.
Yeah, Ray Romano was in that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, David Tell is so goddamn funny.
I know.
He's a genius.
He's and you know what? You have to give it to Pete Holmes as somebody who's like writing that show too. Like he's writing some pretty smart. He has a writer's room, but it's some pretty smart comedy. I feel like.
Yeah,
like,
it's really well done. Yeah, his stand up is just you don't like his stand up, right?
Pete Holmes?
Yeah,
I think it's pretty good. I didn't say that.
Oh no, my buddy Ryan doesn't.
Oh okay,
Who's pretty good. He's a manager at Helium.
Oh okay.
Yeah, he doesn't like the goofy.
So he doesn't like Berbeglia or any of those kind of guys, probably.
No, he does. Pete's just too like.
I'm a fun, goofy guy.
Yeah, he's too just. Yeah, he doesn't like that kind of.
What about Gaffigan?
He likes Gaffigan.
Okay, I'm trying to get an idea of like another.
Pete's just too like a lot of comedy like has like dark like twinges to it,
and his doesn't.
He just has nothing of that.
Yeah, because I was even going to say like maybe Brian Regan does like some goofy stuff, but
yeah, but it's also like Brian Regan also has. like there's like an underlying bit of darkness to some of his bits.
And see, Gaffigan doesn't really have the underlying darkness as much. Kind of.
No, but he has the...
he is holding up a mirror in a lot of ways.
So what Gaffigan also does is, since he has the like the voice of the audience lady that he does.
Yeah.
So he has that, so he can like shit on himself. And a lot of what Pete does a lot of the time is like, guys, like, come with me. Like, this is so silly and goofy. And
you're
like,
in.
Yeah. Like, he just like, he like kind of forces a premise just through energy and confidence and just likability.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing is like because he is like, isn't he like universally loved like by comedians? Like people just love him. I feel like
as like a person. Yeah.
Yes, that's what I mean. Yeah, sorry, I should clarify. Like as a person,
not stand up wise.
No, I feel like I didn't really.
A lot of people like his stand up.
Yeah, he's not, but he's like a weird spot where everybody in stand up likes him like as a person, but like I wouldn't. He's not like famous.
He's pretty famous. He's got his own TV show on HBO.
No, I know, but like a lot of people don't know that Crashing is a show. Like it gets pretty bad ratings even for an HBO show.
It?
Yeah. He's not like because he's not like an A-list celebrity or maybe even a B-list celebrity.
No, not really.
You know what I mean? He's weird. Where like if you like stand up, Pete Holmes is super famous. But if you're just a person, he's not at all.
I don't know if we talked about this, but it's the same reason why like a Jim Norton will never be like super famous.
No, he's a perfect example. It's
such like a niche, like style of comedy, but also like niche personality.
Yeah,
because Pete is all like, not only is he like very high energy, he's also like incredibly spiritual and talks about meditation and the idea of consciousness and all that kind of stuff. And then Jim Norton on the other spectrum is so dirty,
right?
That like
he has no limit. Yeah,
like it's not gonna like he's just not going to catch hold with everybody.
So yeah, but if you're
talking about blowing a tranny, a tranny hooker, like multiple times, it's like okay, you're not going to appeal to everybody. No. Like you're not going to have a.
But if you're into stand-up,
sitcom show,
he's like a legend.
Yeah, Norton's.
You know, it's kind of the same. Like if because we're in film, if I say David Fincher, what do you think? Legend, probably, right?
Yeah, but he's not a big A-list.
No, I bet you most people don't have any idea who David Fincher is.
No, most people probably haven't seen a Fincher film. I had
Fight Club Seven,
Fight Club 7, Zodiac.
Social Network.
Oh, I'm thinking of David Lynch.
Oh, I don't mean him.
Yeah, I was thinking of David Lynch.
I bet you a lot of people don't know David Fincher. People don't ever say like, oh, like the director of Fight Club. People don't think about it. Whereas, like, but if you say David Fincher in the film world, that you're like talking about royalty.
Yeah.
So you're talking about like,
but if you're talking about like Scorsese, like everybody knows,
Scorsese. Right? Or and so stand up. If you say like,
Kevin Hart,
Kevin Hart,
for example,
or like Bill Burr or somebody like these big like,
even Burr's.
Yeah, you're right. I was just about to say
Burr's slightly niche too.
You could say, I hate to say, but the biggest stand-ups that are actually active right now, like the massive stadium ones, none of them are really that great right now. Like Ellen.
No,
Hannah Gadsby.
Oh, fuck you.
No, I'm talking about that. Like everybody would know right now.
Right now, yeah.
That's what I mean.
Just because there's so much controversy with that one.
Well, not just her, but I'm saying like the really good, like the ones that are not really good, but the really massive stand-ups.
Like you're just still talking about like Seinfeld, Chris Rock.
Yeah, well,
comics that like, yes, they are. Yeah, they are.
Seinfeld.
Yeah,
is he?
Yeah, Seinfeld still tours.
Chappelle's.
Chris Rock literally was just on a world tour.
No, I know he is. I more meant Seinfeld, but I guess
Seinfeld still works.
I feel like he's just doing that. I always feel him doing that show.
Comedians in cars getting coffee.
Which is a good show.
Yeah, I mean, all those guys still work, but it's been said before. Like, I'm not going out on a limb by saying this, but like comics, once they get too big, they lose their funny because they get so less relatable to their audience.
Like they don't live a life that we would know.
Yeah, like like even like Ray Romano, he made a joke about it, but he's like, yeah, when I was doing my show, and he's like, don't worry, like everybody gets a show, like you'll all have one. So he kind of like broke the ice that way, and he didn't really talk about how famous he is, but
his show is also a lot of stand-ups get shows and stuff like Dimitri Martin's show and stuff like that. But I was going to say, because his show is different. It was like one of the biggest shows on TV when it was on.
Yeah, well, it's also the thing about that too is like comics that are really, really, really good. Mm-hmm. That's all they do. They just do stand, like they focus on stand up. They're just working. If you're running a sitcom and you're, I mean, most likely the creator or like head writer on a show, like you're devoting so much time to writing that.
Yeah.
And like if you're dumping out like 10 hours of creativity during the day, like are you really going to go do like 6 15-minute spots at night and then get up and do the same shit?
Let alone even one, maybe.
That's so much fucking time.
Yeah.
So they move away from actually doing stand-up, and that's why you have guys like a Dave Attell who's never had his own show, and he just fucking grinds.
Yeah.
All he's doing, he does shows.
He'll show up and stuff, acting occasionally.
Yeah, he was just in Crashing.
Yeah, I know, but he'll do little bits. Yeah,
little bits, but he's not like he's not focused on other things.
Bill Burr does little bits and stuff every now and then.
Yeah, well, Bill Burr has fallen off a little bit, just because for the same reason he is running his own TV show.
Oh, F is for Family.
F is for Family. Yeah, he created it and he's the head writer on it. Yeah. Or he might not be the head writer, but he's also a voice actor. He's a voice actor on it.
He's the showrunner.
Is he the showrunner?
I think he
probably is.
I think he is. I don't know that.
But yeah, so that's like a shit ton of time to devote to something.
Yeah. I think that's the thing is you make a good point too, that some like I feel like really like purist stand-up fans don't like get is like if you start doing a show, it doesn't make you like a worse, like you can't be like, oh fuck them, they stop doing stand-up so they can do like a TV show. I feel like I hear some people say that. I feel like some people I hear like, oh yeah, he was really good, but then he started doing a show, so he's like, you know, like they kind of knocks him.
Well, if you're making the argument that he was really good and then he started doing a show and he lost a little bit of his funny, that's a valid argument.
No, I meant like that he like as a person, like your like for them diminishes because they started doing a show.
Oh, that's silly.
Yeah,
that's a dumb idea.
But you get purists like that.
Well, then you're mad at stand-ups for succeeding, but that's what you want.
Or doing something different.
I do see the argument though where stand-up to be like really pure has to be a little seedy. Like it has to be kind of grimy and raw and real. And whenever you have all this other shit on top of it, it kind of takes away from that. Which is why some of the best sets I've ever seen have been was when we went to the Comedy Store.
Yeah.
And that guy did 4 minutes and I had never heard of him before. And it was like it's the best 5 minutes I've ever seen.
That dude the second night with come over from Kill Tony.
William F. Montgomery is his name.
Yeah, he's really funny.
But yeah, it was like the best 5 minutes I've ever seen, and I've seen hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of comics, big comics that have like polished shit. But there has to be like a little bit of grind. Like there needs to be like a weird fire underneath comics.
Yeah, but see and then maybe that's why I also don't think of Seinfeld too, is because like the stand up I have seen from him like over the last few years wasn't like I didn't think it was that good.
Yeah.
That's probably why. You're probably right. Yeah. So he just doesn't come to mind. Yeah. The only one that really still has gotten like massively famous is Chappelle. That still makes it work. Like, he's still great. I don't know his thing.
Yeah. I mean, he's an outlier. I don't think there's ever going to be anybody like Chappelle.
Do you think he's on probably the Mount Rushmore? Don't you think of like stand-ups?
Yes, 100%.
Him, Pryor, Carlin?
You
only get 4.
Maybe Lenny Bruce.
I was going to say... the thing is like everybody says him, you know.
I mean, if you wanted to, if you would expand the Mount Rushmore, you'd still probably have to throw Kevin Hart on there for how big he is now. Yeah, because he's like his own, where he has succeeded so much more in film than any other comic to ever do it.
More in film?
Yes, by far.
Of people have done stand up?
Yeah,
Jim Carrey.
Oh well,
there's a lot. Like so many
pure stand-ups though. Jim Carrey doesn't do stand-up anymore.
He did.
Kevin Hart is still like
and you mean continuing? I see.
You could say like Robin Williams.
I see. You mean like still being a stand-up,
still doing it still because Kevin Hart's been doing stand-up for 20 years. Like, there was no Robin Williams or Jim Carrey time when they were doing 20 where they did 20.
No, they just stopped and started acting.
Yeah, and they never did stand-up again.
I thought. Yeah, I see what you mean.
Actually, Robin still did stand-up towards the end
occasionally.
But yeah, like nobody has ever been in and also like full-on blockbuster movies.
Yeah, I don't know anybody.
Jumanji. What else has he been in with The Rock? They've been in a few things together.
Yeah, Ride Along
2. He did Get Hard.
Night School.
He's just in a movie that's getting a lot of
with Bryan
a lot of success
Cranston.
with Bryan Cranston. The Upside
called. That premiered here at SLIF, St. Louis International Film Festival.
My girlfriend saw it. She said it's great.
Really? You know what's funny is like I feel like he's not as funny in stand-up anymore. His stand-up's not nearly as good as it used to be. Yeah.
When Kevin first was breaking, what's the special? It's like Seriously Not Funny or something like that.
Seriously Funny.
Seriously Funny.
And then Big Little Man was the next one.
Yeah.
Those are like the two that
his
were
like first ones where he started talking about his dad, like walking through the aisle wearing sweatpants and no underwear.
Yeah.
Like that Kevin Hart is.
Or when he's talking about his uncle where he's top heavy.
Right out of prison.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, that was great.
Yeah. All chest.
Yeah.
No legs.
Yeah. Get your chest out. Yeah. It's like, close your mouth, put the dick in it.
He's like, what?
He's he's fucking hilarious back then.
But like that Kevin Hart is like, yeah. So he's got to be on the Mount Rushmore.
What are you doing?
What?
You got to pee?
I do have to pee.
I knew what you said.
Just my change in body language. It's been an hour, and I peed twice before we started recording.
All right, I got to pee too.
Okay.
All right.
We're going to pause. Yeah. We'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay, and we're back from our pee break.
Little pee break.
And we both had some time to think about more of our Mount Rushmore of comedies. So we are currently sitting at Lenny Bruce.
Yes.
Richard Pryor.
Yes.
George Carlin.
Yes.
Dave Chappelle.
Yes.
Kevin Hart.
We're saying top 10 at this point, I think.
Okay, sure.
Okay. Who's the person you thought of?
I think you got to put David Tell on there.
Oh, okay.
Just for
I agree.
Joke writing structure, and then what he's done for other comics in terms of cadence. Because a lot of people pick up the Dave Attell cadence where he's like, everyone's doing a Dave Attell.
Yeah.
Yeah, like everybody just does a Dave Attell voice.
Especially because
it's such a distinct and powerful cadence.
He's got that accent, like he's like...
I don't know a little bit, but it's like it's just how his cadence fits with his joke writing style. It's just it's just an easily pick upable one too. That
you can mimic it really.
If you listen to Attell, you can mimic his joke writing structure and his cadence, and so then people end up kind of talking like him.
Yeah,
and a lot of young comics do.
I feel like you especially probably notice it because you see so many stand-up shows.
Yeah,
and also as we've talked about, and you've kind of more like enlightened me to this idea that I'm not like my stand-up is sort of that like off-center like alt stand-up.
You like a little alty.
Yeah,
you're not into. Oh, you do like super alt shit too. Like you're a big Nick Thune fan.
Yeah, I really like Nick Thune.
Yeah, Nick Thune's definitely way alt.
Yeah, but that's why. So I don't like notice it as much because I don't get into as much of the sort of like I would say more like just like traditional stand-up comedy. I think you could say traditional is like a good word for that, right? Like like Burr, Attell, D'Elia,
joke writers.
Segura. Yeah, well, I think those guys are still joke writers.
Yeah, they are still joke writers,
but it's a different kind. I think it's
a different form.
Yeah, that's why I kind of get now.
Same outcome.
I've actually come around more, especially having been to the store, and then now lately I've been watching a lot more comedy because of that.
Yeah.
I kind of get your argument with Birbiglia.
Yeah.
I think we still agree. Like he's a stand-up, but it's not like the same stand-up.
Well, so if you have, I'll just keep going back to these guys. If you have like an Attell, a Burr, it's just jokes.
Yeah.
That's like all you're thinking about.
Yeah.
They'll like wind you down this path to like where you maybe believe something that you wouldn't necessarily believe.
But it's not a long path.
Yeah. And then they misdirect it.
Yeah.
Birbiglia's, his are more like stories that make you think. And then at the end you go,
yeah. Well, in the middle, he's just kind of like, he just says like, it's like passing comments like you would have in a normal conversation that are funny.
Yeah.
He's like a funny dude just talking to you for a while.
Yeah, his is more like a play.
Yeah, yeah. Especially lately. Early in his career, he was kind of just doing stand-up. Like My Secret Public Journal.
Well, I think he more found his voice, and he found that that's what he did
with My Girlfriend's Boyfriend.
The most successfully, Which is
the best. It is like incredible. You know what's funny is if people want to use that, like Hannah Gadsby, I get like she does say some good shit about like society and stuff.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about like that kind of a stand-up special, people should watch My Girlfriend's Boyfriend to see how it's really done. Don't you think?
Yeah. People should also not label everything as a stand-up comedy special.
No, that's what I mean.
That special's not funny at all.
If that thing is what you want, that sort of a thing, what you're really looking for is My Girlfriend's Boyfriend.
Yeah.
Where it's somebody that really does know how to be funny and like do good comedy.
Yeah.
And
unless you are like a feminist that's like really into like the Me Too movement.
Well, no.
Body positivity.
Well, I was going to say there's plenty.
That's why you would really
It's not because she's a female comic or anything like that.
I'm not, but that's what she talks about.
I know, that's what I mean. That's what I was going to say is like.
That's what the theme of her show is.
Well, that's what I was going to say. There's plenty of great female comics who do end up, again, it's more traditional. So you have to like sort of take the kernel that they're showing you in that bit of comedy. Because that's what all of traditional comics are doing. Like they might do something that's really seedy and everything, but it's also holding a mirror up to you. So it almost is a body positivity thing sometimes when they're sort of like making fun of people that, you know what I mean? Like,
I just think the term body positivity when you're referring to comedy is so stupid.
Well, because it doesn't exist really as much, but yeah. Well, but so that's what I was going to say is, I now get your argument with Birbiglia a lot better. And he's like in that category that's kind of just occupied by like him and Bo Burnham.
Yeah. Well, Bo's a completely different thing too.
Well, that's what I mean. Like there's something.
Is Birbiglia the other person that's on your Mount Rushmore?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Oh, no. It's Mitch Hedberg.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Hedberg is...
I feel like he's on a lot of people's Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, it's also the tragic ending thing.
He's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he is, but it's
you think he might not be if...
No, I still think he would be, but it's one of those things where it's like every special that he released was a work of art.
Yeah.
And then he passed away too young. It's like the Jimi Hendrix.
Lenny Bruce was that way too.
Like they would have had, like if Jimi Hendrix and like Kurt Cobain and all them, like if they would have lived longer, there would have been like some shitty albums. Yeah. So I think Hedberg would have had like some shitty albums and still like had some good ones.
The funny thing about Lenny Bruce too is his thing is like, and this is the argument I feel like you hear a lot of big stand-ups make. I was listening to Rogan talk about it. For a lot of different other like massive stand-up comedians, you're like, they changed like some aspect of it. Without Lenny Bruce, you wouldn't have it.
Yeah,
is what a lot of people
have it at all.
Which is crazy to think because he's not like I've watched some of his stuff now. He's not that funny.
Yeah,
to me, like he's funny.
It's old.
Yeah, he's funny. He's
dated.
He's definitely clearly stand-up though compared to a lot of other stuff that was going on.
Yeah, it's not like that hacky like Catskills like joke thief thing.
Yeah, like
where everybody would do the same act
and making goofy noises. And,
yeah. He was like the first guy who like went up and talked about his actual life.
He's talking about fucking the president's wife.
Yeah,
like
what he was going through, but also.
Oh yeah, like, in his life. You're right.
Yeah,
his divorce and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So would you put any of that like? Because I feel like you wouldn't put like Birbiglia or like Bo Burnham or somebody on your stand-up Mount Rushmore. I don't think they would be.
No, in terms of like pure stand-up.
Maybe Gaffigan or Regan. Regan, I feel like
Regan, I would put up there.
You like him more than Gaffigan
for what he has done for clean comedy.
Yeah,
and just to show that it can be done.
Because those two are probably the kings, right?
Of clean, yeah.
Those two, yeah.
Oh, Seinfeld.
Oh yeah,
Seinfeld actually more than Regan.
Yeah, more than either of those two.
Yeah,
and I don't think they would argue.
Yeah, because he's completely clean.
Yeah.
Before we found out about all the rape, Bill Cosby probably would have been up there,
and Louis C.K.
Yeah.
That
R.I.P.
I know.
Just to Bill Cosby's eyes.
Oh, his eyesight's
blind,
pretty poor. Yeah. Oh, fuck him, man. I don't.
Jesus Christ.
So, do you put like Robin Williams on there? I don't think I would.
No, not for stand-up.
A lot of people do
for comedy. Yeah.
No, yeah, for comedy. Yeah, that changes everything.
Yeah,
because for me, I'd probably put every member of Monty Python.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say too.
Because you like, and I feel like you probably would put maybe like John Cleese or Eric Idle for just pure comedy.
Yeah, and I'd put all of Monty Python on.
Yeah, maybe not.
You have to.
Maybe not Terry Gilliam. He uses drawn stuff, which is pretty funny, but
yeah, but you gotta have all those guys on there.
Yeah, because they're
just straight up comedy. Jim Carrey's probably on there.
Yeah, Jim Carrey.
Steve Martin's probably on there.
100% Steve Martin. You could even argue like Chevy Chase for his old stuff.
Chris Farley.
Actually, any of those, old SNL guys.
Yeah, Dan Aykroyd. Bill Murray has to be on there.
Bill Murray. You could argue like old Sandler.
Like, yeah.
Will Ferrell.
Dude, how bad are Sandler's movies now? There's some of the worst hunks of shit I've ever seen.
What was that one that he made with Ben Stiller and The Graduate? The guy who plays The Graduate.
And Michael Douglas? No, not Michael Douglas.
Dustin Hoffman. That was that movie they made recently that was supposed to be really, really good. I haven't seen it. The Meyerowitz Stories, I think.
The Meyerowitz Stories?
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Is it like an actual...
It's like a serious drama. Yeah, I think Ben Affleck might have directed it. Not Ben Affleck, Ben Stiller.
Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
Ben Stiller directed my favorite show of all time. My favorite pilot.
Oh, yes, he did.
Yeah, he did the pilot for Heat Vision and Jack.
Jack, yeah.
And it is the funniest pilot that's ever been made.
Yes. So, do you put...
What was I searching? Oh, yeah, Adam Sandler movie.
So stand up, I feel like that Mount Rushmore, we kind of hit the big ones. Maybe I feel like some people say Chris Rock, but I don't know.
Chris Rock might be there. Same with like Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy, yeah.
I mean, Eddie Murphy's early stand up is,
but Chris Rock's is longer. Like he's got more of a career doing good stand up.
Chris Rock,
yeah. Eddie Murphy had like 2 or 3 good specials, and that was it.
Yeah, the Meyerowitz Stories.
What about Dangerfield?
Dangerfield.
A lot of people love him, but I don't really know stand-up that well.
Me neither, but people really love.
Way before my time. What about like?
I like how I say that for Rodney Dangerfield, and I didn't say that for Lenny Bruce.
Yeah, well, I think that was implied. Like the dude that was before everybody would be. Yeah. Because we hit the biggest like older ones. Like you have to have Carlin Pryor. Those are like the two big ones.
Yeah.
For that,
those are the original like
Bruce
goats.
Those three.
Yeah.
And then nowadays because the 80s were a weird time because you had Eddie Murphy, but then the other two probably biggest stand-ups at that point were
Seinfeld and
Seinfeld, yeah. But he was more just New York though. Like he was famous for doing New York.
Yeah, if you're famous in New York or LA, you're famous in the world.
No, I mean, but he wasn't doing like massive world tours like Sam Kinison and Andrew Dice Clay were in the 80s.
Fuck, you got to put Dice on there probably.
Both of those guys were huge at that point.
Dice was the first person I saw at the Garden.
See, that's what I mean. Like which is funny. That's New York.
Yeah.
But and Sam Kinison had like a top 10 like single at the same, like a comedy single.
Yeah. Well, Kinison only had like a couple albums.
Then he died.
Two or three albums. Then he died.
Yep. And that's why. Die? I don't know.
I don't remember either.
I'm trying to think.
That guy's life story is fucking bananas.
Yeah. 90s. I'm trying to think of 90s like biggest stand-ups. Still Seinfeld probably somewhat. Chappelle came out.
Definitely still Seinfeld. That's when the show was out.
Well, that's what I mean. That's
his biggest time.
I feel like his stand-up probably took a backseat to the show for a while though.
He was still touring though.
Was he?
Yeah. Damn, he died when he was 38.
Chappelle came out in the 90s. Came around.
How did this motherfucker die?
Who else? In the 90s? You know what I feel like the 90s
he was in a car crash.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
1989 Pontiac Trans Am Turbo.
Dang.
Struck head on.
Oh, that's terrible, man.
Damn, a 17-year-old drunk driver. Fuck.
What's your take? Sorry, yeah, it's terrible. But I was going to say, what's your take on, do you think, like, would you put a lot of those SNL guys, like we were talking about, would you put a lot of those guys on that sort of, like, comedy Mount Rushmore? I feel like they're...
Yeah, you have to.
I feel like you do. But it's funny because...
They've all just done so... Like, their bodies of work is just bananas.
But a lot of it was on SNL, and I was thinking, like, but can you...
Well, they also started the greatest show, or the... like greatest show for comedy in the last 40 years.
Oh, those early guys too, but they had generations of it.
They
SNL
started it though.
Like SNL also has like
Will Ferrell, Tina Fey,
but even like recently, like Bill Hader is very funny.
Bill Hader, yeah.
Like
Kate McKinnon's starting to do. Kate McKinnon,
Michael Che, and Colin Jost are both hilarious.
Yeah. Well, I mean, shit. Look at all the past hosts. Colin Quinn was a host for a little bit.
Oh, Weekend Update.
Kevin Nealon. He's
a terrible Tonight Show host, but Jimmy Fallon's a really funny dude.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Apparently Jimmy Fallon's a big alcoholic.
That's what I heard, but then again, I feel like he's also come out and been like, that was just completely blown out of proportion.
Yeah, or it was like a phase.
Yeah. I feel it. I feel you, dog. He has no reason to leave the Tonight Show, but he's a super funny dude and he's still pretty young. I wish he would do like other stuff.
I mean, he shouldn't do movies. Have you seen Fever Pitch?
He was in really bad. Actually, Fever Pitch isn't terrible.
Have you seen Taxi?
Taxi's awful. Yeah, it's with Queen Latifah. Yeah,
terrible.
It's terrible. Yeah.
And Gisele Bündchen is like a hot, like lesbian Russian mobster.
Oh yeah, wow.
Where she like gives somebody like she like literally feels up the inside of some girl's legs.
What a weird movie.
And like grabs her ass at the end too.
What a strange,
very weird movie.
But then. Actually, none of those late night hosts are really. A lot of them are funny before. Like Fallon was funny on SNL. Colbert Report is like one of the best things of like my childhood.
Funniest shows of all time.
Like when middle school, high school for us.
Yeah,
that's like funny. I would watch it. I liked that more than the Daily Show.
So did I. I hate the new iteration of Comedy Central late night shows.
I don't like Trevor Noah.
I hate Trevor Noah.
Samantha Bee, is that one or is that TBS?
Samantha Bee is on, I think TBS. It's on something else.
She's okay.
Samantha Bee is funny, but she's a Daily Show correspondent.
Yeah, a lot of them are.
Steve Carell was a Daily Show correspondent.
Stephen Colbert, John Oliver.
Yeah.
Who am I blanking? I'm blanking on somebody really big that I just.
Rob Riggle was a guy on there.
Hassam
Minaj.
Yeah, Hassam Minaj. His show's pretty good.
His Netflix show is pretty good?
I like it.
I'll check
He's a funny dude. He's just like a goofy, funny guy.
Oh, you probably have to throw Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yeah.
For revolutionizing what comedy could be with Borat.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So if you start going in that direction, like, do you put like Jermaine Clement or like the Flight of the Conchords guys at all? Oh, okay.
Not a big enough body of work.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fair. Because like Taika's the same way.
Yeah.
Like they're funny, but
I mean, yeah, What We Do in the Shadows is still my favorite comedy movie, but what about I wouldn't put him on my
You got to put
list.
Christopher Guest, though.
Christopher Guest?
Spinal Tap.
Yeah.
What's it called? Spinal Tap, Waiting for Guffman, Best in Show, Mighty Wind, like all those movies, those mockumentary. Like that's his thing. Yeah. Him and you'd probably have to put him and Eugene Levy. Like those guys made those movies together.
Yeah.
Not Spinal
Eugene
Tap.
Levy's been in a bunch of shit too. All the American Pies.
American Pie. Schitt's Creek, which is really funny.
Is it really good?
Yeah, you would love it, dude.
Okay.
It's super goofy.
I've heard
and
good
funny.
things, but I haven't.
For like that kind of a show. It's like a 30-minute comedy series. Yeah, but then dude, that's super tough.
Did you throw like Larry David on?
I was going to say Larry David.
Yeah.
Because he's like, what about Seth MacFarlane? Dude, he's a tough one.
I don't know.
Same with Matt Groening.
Trey Parker, Matt Stone. Matt Groening,
he has
Simpsons
to be.
guy?
Yeah, he has to be.
Yeah.
I know.
Simpsons just came out today. It got renewed for seasons 31 and 32.
Yeah. Oh, and Trey Parker and Matt Stone have to be. Those three guys, revolutionized comedy a lot more than people would ever admit. Like Matt Groening and Trey Parker and Matt Stone.
Simpsons really did. Simpsons has really changed the game.
Yeah. People talk about that.
Long enough. No show's been on longer.
People are like fanatical about The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Still.
Because, I mean, how many episodes are there? Like 330 or something like that?
Yeah, so many.
It's just it's way more.
I was going to say, it's got to be like 600.
If they're on 30 seasons.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
It might be 1,000. I don't know.
Yeah. I'll find out.
Well, maybe.
There's no way it's 1,000.
No. But, 30 seasons, probably 26 episodes a season. No. Maybe not. I don't know. Definitely like 600 or 700 though, at least.
Yeah. Sorry.
I admit though, I'm not a huge Simpsons fan myself.
I'm not either. I never really watched it. The first big comedy animated series I got into was probably Family Guy.
Yeah, same.
First couple seasons of that.
No, South Park for me actually.
See, I went Family Guy, stopped watching it forever, and I still watch it all of South Park.
I think Family Guy had like a good run for a little bit.
Yeah, there's seasons like 3 to 8
are really, really good. Like they still hold up as funny.
651 episodes since its debut, December of 1989.
Isn't that crazy?
Holy fuck,
man,
that is insane.
What about American Dad? Do you think that's funny?
No,
I didn't think it was good.
I think Seth MacFarlane lost his touch whenever he started doing a bunch of movies too.
Yeah. Would you?
Ted's funny though.
Ted is pretty funny.
Yeah, both
I finally watched that.
But he did like that A Million Ways to Die in the West. I didn't think that was good.
I didn't think that was funny at all. I thought the Orville's first episode was pretty good, but then it just really fell off.
Yeah, I watched the pilot because it came out after the Super Bowl like 2 years ago.
Yep, and it was pretty good.
Yeah, that was good. But
it's funny when you talk about this, just like overall comedy, because like Ricky Gervais, there's a lot of
produced a lot of shows.
I know. A lot,
and he's starting a lot of shows.
And he's a funny dude. His stand-up's not that good, I don't think.
No.
But doesn't mean he's not funny.
Yeah, you'd have to throw Apatow on there.
I was going to say, I didn't even think about him.
You have to throw him up there.
I was going to say John C. Reilly, maybe. Actually,
John C. Reilly and Will Ferrell would have to be on there.
Yeah. I was going to say, because you could go.
John C. Reilly is more in like just gems of actors because he's so funny and he's such a good, serious actor too.
Yeah. You know who else?
He's
Paul Rudd. Those
Paul
two guys,
Rudd,
they're like the same thing.
Well, John C. Reilly's in every Paul Thomas Anderson movie.
I never thought about that.
Yeah, he is. Or pretty much all of them.
Yeah,
he's in like Boogie Nights and The Master.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, he's in a ton of shit.
Wait, so do you put like, if you want to go like really funny, and it's like a weird kind of funny, but everything he does is
just
funny.
Us making lists.
I'm just interested now. Wes Anderson?
Ugh.
What? You don't like Wes Anderson? You do like Wes Anderson.
I do, but why would you ever put him up there?
He's so funny, and he's the one that writes every script.
Well, that would be like in the same argument as like Birbiglia on like the Mount Rushmore of stand-up, because he's not as straight. It's not straight-laced comedy.
Well,
it's more like it's the same as like Birbiglia. They're like thinker movies that are like, that was funny.
Yeah, I feel like I've laughed out loud at Birbiglia.
Well, yeah, but it's still like it's more about the message, and there is comedy in it.
Okay.
It's not just about the, like...
Well, that's what I'm saying.
It's not like like Moonrise Kingdom isn't in the same realm as like Anchorman. Like those aren't even the same thing.
Well, that's why I'm saying they're funny movies, but like, do you give them?
They're not comedies though. I wouldn't put them as that. I'd still put them as like dramas.
Royal Tenenbaums?
Royal Tenenbaums is funny as fuck.
It's a fucking definite. A lot of his early stuff is comedy.
Owen Wilson drives his car.
Yeah, I was just thinking. What about Grand Budapest? That's definitely a comedy.
I haven't seen that movie yet. I know.
Dude, that's one of the
best one.
It's so it's probably
I haven't seen
his best
Fantastic
one.
Mr. Fox either.
Oh, it's a great movie. He's so fucking good.
Brandy doesn't want to watch Isle of Dogs, but I'm going to watch it.
She doesn't want to watch it?
It's on HBO, so I'll watch it.
Yeah, it's very good.
Well, I explained to her, I go, okay, it's a stop motion movie that's about dogs. And she's like, oh, God.
And it's like a weird stop motion style.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does she like Wes Anderson?
I don't think so, no.
Yeah.
No.
She doesn't like What We Do in the Shadows. I'm still not over that.
Which is weird because she's very funny.
She is very funny. Yeah. And I feel like she would be into that kind of comedy too, but
she fucking does not like it though.
I know.
She fucking hates that movie.
I don't know why I need Brandy to like it, but I just want her to. I think I just love that movie too. That's like the first movie you and I really ever like bonded over enjoying.
Yeah.
We like stood outside of Webster when I was in the middle of class. I was like supposed to be in class and I was outside talking to you about it for like we talked about it for like forever.
Because we didn't watch it together the first time, right?
No, I don't think we've ever actually fully watched it together. We've put it on like 12 different times. We've turned other things on. Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, you turned it off one time so we could watch Firefly.
Oh, yeah. Well, we started it and you had never... Did you finish Firefly?
No, I've only ever watched the stuff with you. I started to watch the next episode and I've just never continued.
Watch it.
I don't know.
It's only a season. It's like 12 episodes.
Apparently the new comic's really good.
Is it?
Yeah, I think Joss Whedon's like helping write it or something.
Oh, I think I have that on my poll.
You probably do. You don't have that much, so don't get too excited.
Yeah. All right. So that actually is a good transition. We can talk about Black Hammer, which we mentioned at the very beginning of the show.
Yeah, Black Hammer.
And we've mentioned it hundreds of times throughout the podcast.
Yes. So
this
Black
is Secret Origins, Volume 1.
Yeah, Volume 1. It's the first 5 or 4 issues or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's written by I would say probably top
best comic book
writer in comic books right now for my money. He might not be like the top in terms of like biggest sellers, but I still Alex just pulled an iPad out of my couch.
Reached under the couch and there was just a full iPad.
I guess my roommate's iPad fell under the cushion. So Jeff Lemire is, I mean, you're talking about like these just heavy hitters, especially like critically.
Is he on the Mount Rushmore of comic book writers?
Maybe like modern day ones.
Yeah.
They're tough because comic book writers do so much, like the volume of things they put out just to have the money to pay their bills and stuff a lot of times is pretty high.
Yeah.
Like, especially like it takes a while to like sift through a writer's bibliography.
How much do you think a writer gets paid per issue?
It varies so wildly.
Oh, for real?
Oh yeah. Because like
$500 to like 15,000.
Yeah. You know, like when Kirkman writes a book, Robert Kirkman, I bet you he makes like 50 grand off a book or something
for real?
Pay to write
each issue.
Oh, no. Sorry. I bet he might make like 2 or 3 grand an issue or something. I don't know sometimes because he probably makes a bunch. You know, he made The Walking Dead and Invincible and he's doing Oblivion Song and he's doing Die 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 right now, which is pretty interesting.
I have that on my poll.
That's such a weird one. Nobody knew it was coming out and it just came for free one day for everybody.
Yeah.
It's a strange way to do it, but he can. Invincible, by the way, I've been starting it finally, and it's incredible.
Is it? I read issue 1 and I really liked it.
Dude, it's fucking... It's one of those where everybody's told me for so long that I needed to read it. It's like Breaking Bad for me. I've never watched Breaking Bad, but everybody tells me I have to. And for a while, I was just like, no, I won't. Because everybody's telling me it's so annoying.
Yeah.
And now I'm reading it, and I'm like, this is amazing.
Yeah, because it's kind of like Black Hammer, where it's almost like a throwback.
Yeah, but more
in ways.
Yeah,
the artwork is definitely like 60s. Like it feels like
Invincible.
Old. Yeah,
it changes. It doesn't stay that way.
Yeah, because in the very beginning it feels like it, or like because it take place in the 50s.
No, Invincible's current.
It doesn't. It feels like it takes place like in the 50s. It feels like a Leave It to Beaver.
I think no. You just read the first issue. You got to read a few more because like Mark Grayson's in. He's in high school in like current day, like 05.
Okay.
But it's like Black Hammer. Black Hammer is like a love letter to like the golden age of comics of the 40s, 50s, and 60s.
Yeah.
And then what's it called? Invincible is more like a love letter to comics as they are, like now, kind of, or like then even. So it's because the suits and everything look pretty modern. It's modern times, but it also incorporates sort of that like goofy, like pious nature of superheroes. That's always there. I'll definitely give you the stuff I have when I'm done reading it. You can check it out. Okay. This is the first time that I'm reading something that like I'm currently reading something. I don't have to be like, yeah, I've read that like 10 years ago, because you're still catching up on so much. You're not really current
Black
yet.
Hammer?
Well, of everything, I feel like.
Oh, yeah.
You have a lot to catch up on still.
Yeah, I think tonight I'll start going through Deadly Class.
Oh, yeah.
5 of those fucking volumes.
So Jeff Lemire. So he's written things like Sweet Tooth, Underwater Welder, which I think Ryan Gosling's still developing for a film to star in.
Paper Girls.
Nope, that's Brian K. Vaughan. He's doing Gideon Falls. Which is incredible. Gideon Falls is which is going to become a movie? Show. Movie? One or the other.
I think Black Hammer is got a movie and a show.
Multiple.
Gideon Falls, I hope it's a show.
There's just because it's still ongoing. It's over 10 issues.
Yeah, I hope it's a show though.
But he also was writing.
It's 10 issues. I'm like 4 behind then.
I think it's like 12.
Oh, shit.
11 maybe.
Okay. I'm a lot behind. I think I've read 6.
Not that far then. It's only a few months. But he also did Royal City, which is incredible. He did Descender, and now he's about to start doing Ascender. He's doing a new comic for TKO, which we talked about in our last episode.
And he did a run of Old Man Logan too. Right?
He did a really good run of Green Arrow too.
Okay.
He's done a few of those. He did a really good run of Thanos. He did an amazing like 30 issue or 25 issue run or something. Maybe honestly it might have been 18 because I remember it stopped early. It was 18, I think, of Moon Knight, which is so good.
What's Moon Knight?
Moon Knight is sort of almost like DC's Batman. He is like this sort of like kind of crazy. He's dressed in this like white like costume. He's like a vigilante. He thinks he's like got the like he has like the soul of this like past like Egyptian pharaoh in his head, but like he's probably like he also might just be schizophrenic. So there's a lot of really good stuff where he's like in mental hospitals and he doesn't know if he's crazy or not.
Like Kill or Be Killed in that way too.
It's very Kill or Be Killed before Kill or Be Killed was a thing.
Okay.
And Jeff Lemire did an amazing run on it.
That could be cool.
So Jeff Lemire is incredible.
How many issues is his Thanos run? Because that might be worth
not very many.
Might be worth me buying like a trade of it.
Yeah. Honestly, I might have the trade and the single, so I might just give you the trade.
Ooh.
I don't know, but I'll look. His Thanos run's pretty short because then Donny Cates took over for a hot minute. And I forgot who started writing it after. Oh, no, because he started doing Cosmic Ghost Rider with Baby Thanos in it.
Baby Thanos?
Yeah. Donny Cates is like the new superstar at Marvel right now. If people were wondering who that guy is, there's always a superstar writer at both places. Marvel's for a long time was Brian Michael Bendis, very divisive amongst fans.
Bendis is doing Thor right now, right?
No, that's Jason Aaron.
A
lot of people, for a while, he was also their superstar because Bendis had just been around for so long. And then Bendis went to DC. And now he's kind of like their sort of big writer, maybe him or Tom King. And then at Marvel, it's Donny Cates, who's like this young hotshot writer. Okay. Because like Tom King's kind of established now. He's done some big stuff for the
he's been doing
big
Batman
two.
forever.
Yeah, and he did a really big thing of the Vision, like a big like run of that. He just did Mr. Miracle, which is like Mr. Miracle is another one of those like crossover into like the mainstream that everybody just thinks is incredible.
So I had to look at a picture of Donny Cates.
Yeah.
Because you said his name and you said he's like this young hotshot.
Yeah.
And it made me picture Ricky Fowler, the golfer.
Oh.
And I was like, this guy's probably looks like the biggest douche.
No, he doesn't.
No, he looks normal.
But he's like a good looking guy. Like he's like young and like.
He's like a young like hipster.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's a good face for comic books. Like people are going to put that on. Like
he looks like you.
He kind of does
look like you
me.
with facial hair.
Yeah. Because the other big name right now that Marvel has, even though they just only really keep him on 2 books, is Ta-Nehisi Coates. Like you have that lying around. I don't know why they don't do more with him.
Yeah,
maybe
he's doing the current run of Black Panther again
and Captain America. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool.
But anyways,
my sister gave me a book by Ta-Nehisi Coates for Christmas.
He's considered like the best like American
actual author
right now, like especially like younger author.
Yeah. I don't remember what it's called, but it's a.
But Megan gave you one.
Yeah, it's the story of an African American dad writing a letter to his son about how to deal like with society.
Oh man, that's probably awesome.
Yeah.
I would totally read that. He's so good, too.
I have that in my house I have to read, too.
Yeah.
I have so much fucking reading to do. It's insane.
It starts, and then it starts to get to the point where you're like, where do I start? And you get like that sort of like.
I think I have like too much things to read.
You just like overthink it. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I have so many like big books too. Like I have all of Sex Criminals. Not all of it. I have that entire book. I have Ta-Nehisi Coates' full run of Black Panther that I have to read.
Yeah.
I have 3 Green Lantern books to read. I have 4 Deadly Classes to read.
Yeah.
2 Big Green Arrows. Scalped.
Oh, Scalped, yeah.
Why the Last Man. Like I have so many like big books I have to read.
Why the Last Man.
And I also have some issues single issues I have to read.
Really?
Yeah.
Why the Last Man just got picked up for series by FX. Like they made the pilot and now FX has already picked it up for series. Yeah.
Cool.
So I can't wait for that.
FX is a good home for that.
Yeah. Because I mean they're doing Legion. And have you ever watched Legion?
No.
Dude, Legion is fucking like
batshit. Is it superhero too?
Yeah, it's Legion from X-Men.
Oh.
His dad is Professor X. So like Legion's power.
So is he powerful?
He's the most powerful mutant in the history of Marvel.
Oh.
Legion is the most powerful mutant, if I'm not mistaken.
Most powerful mutant.
Or maybe Jean Grey.
He's not like Galactus. He's not like that.
Well, they call it like an Omega level mutant. So yeah, he's on that sort of level.
Okay.
Because what his power is every single person, like I forgot how it works. I feel like usually if they die around him or something, but he just takes on people's personas and like powers. Like he's like a split personality person.
Oh, weird.
And he's like incredibly powerful.
Is it everybody that he kills or just people that die around him?
It's not just necessarily people that die. I feel like sometimes he just takes them too, like if he wants. Because he gets to the point too where those powers all start to combine and he just becomes this like god level, like his dad is, or Jean Grey.
Is Legion on Netflix? It's streaming somewhere.
No, definitely on Hulu, I would bet.
Okay, I have Hulu.
The first 2, it's Noah Hawley who's done the Fargo series.
Oh shit! Okay,
yeah. So
I still haven't seen the series, but
Fargo?
No.
Oh man, I've only seen the first 2, and they're great,
dude. Well, it's the same as like all this fucking TV and all this reading. It's like Jesus, I have so much that I want. I follow like 20 shows,
and you have a bunch of like Oscar movies and stuff that you haven't seen that you want to watch. Yeah,
I'm gonna see Black Klansman this weekend. Probably
you have to watch Black Klansman.
Stream Legion. Let's see where it's at.
Yeah, Legion's really good.
It's on Hulu.
So continuing with Black Hammer.
Yeah.
Oh, see, now I'm thinking of like that Mount Rushmore for comic book writers.
We can't. We got to move past.
I know. That's why I'm stopping myself. Dean Ormston, who does the art, I admit I don't know that much about what he's done. Because I don't usually read comics with this art style. This very like golden age pencil-y art style.
It's very pencil-y. Yeah, it's just like pencil lines to define everything.
Because a lot of the stories that accompany those are usually like meant to be like golden age. Like they'll do like a Batman book that's like Batman, but it's like a throwback version on purpose.
Yeah.
So I don't usually pick those up, and that's a lot of the stuff he does. I know he does other things, but I'm just saying like, so I miss a lot of that. I've already said Dave Stewart. I mean, he's prolific in terms of like being a colorist
color guy.
Yeah. And he's on so much stuff, but, I don't know if you could have picked a better team for this to work, though. I mean, it just works so perfectly. They all mesh everything they do. Because Jeff Lemire he does a lot of art, too, for some books. Like, he did Royal City.
Wow, so Dean Ormston hasn't done a whole lot. He's done all of Black Hammer.
Yeah.
He did a couple runs on Lucifer.
Oh, yeah. It's a DC comic.
Some of these I don't know. And then he did a couple runs on Judge Dredd.
Oh, wow. That might have made him big because...
Actually, not a couple runs, like a couple issues.
Oh, well, then never mind. I wonder... Because he's that name... He's one of those, like... Do you ever have that thing of where you don't know who a creator of something is, or like a director or something, and people are like, yeah, it's this person, and you're like, I feel like I should know who that is, but I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Idea.
Like, they'll say a director or something, and you're like, oh, fuck, is that a big person? Like, and you realize...
Somebody not in the film world, and you go... You've never heard of David Lynch before?
Well, especially when it's us, though. Like, if I'm into comics and somebody says that about a creator, I'm like, fuck, should I know who that is?
How do I not know?
Like, if you and I were like, that, oh, yeah, it's David Fincher, and somebody's like, who is that?
Mine would be like a stand-up if somebody's like, wait, you've never heard of this person? I'm like, wow.
Oh, you had that with me with Nate Bargatze, but he's not that big. I hadn't heard of him before I met you.
Oh, you hadn't heard of Nate Bargatze?
No, remember then when we had that first class together, remember you told me about him then?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and you told me to watch Crashing. And I watched Crashing, and I listened to his stand-up. Yeah. So, yeah, I'd heard about him.
That guy live is
really
the
good.
Nicest dude ever.
He's not a store kind of guy, though, is he?
Comedy store?
Yeah.
No, he does the Cellar. He does New York.
He's a New York guy, okay.
Yeah, he's from Knoxville, I think.
Oh.
Or he's like just outside of Nashville.
Okay, nice.
He's a big Vandy fan.
Yeah.
But yeah, he cut his teeth with like Dan Soder, Big J Okerson.
Yeah.
Like that level of New York guy.
Okay.
Like mid 30s New York guys that were like starting in like 2000, like mid 2000s.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a couple of those like classes that have like a very distinct like stand-up style and yeah, like similar personalities. It's like Big J, Dan Soder, Nate Bargatze, a couple of the other guys from New York around that time.
Yeah.
And then like 04 to like 08 in Chicago.
Yeah.
You have like TJ Miller, Pete Holmes, Hannibal Buress, Kumail Nanjiani, and John Mulaney. Like all 5 of those guys were all working together.
I thought Mulaney's, because he came from SNL, so he was doing stand-up back in then too? Like that early?
Yeah,
I knew
he's been doing stand-up forever.
Okay. So because I always just knew him as like an SNL writer. Before he came out with that first big special.
New in Town?
Yeah.
He did New in Town, then The Comeback Kid was the second one.
Yeah, and then he did Kid Gorgeous, the third one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Live from Radio City Music Hall.
Yeah. He's done 3 specials, and those 3 specials are incredible.
Yeah, they're fucking great.
Do you think if
he's only 36, he's from Chicago.
Do you think if he continues like this pace, he'll be like a Mount Rushmore kind of guy eventually? Because he does have a lot of crossover appeal too. I feel like a lot of people know John Mulaney.
I feel like yes, they do. A lot of the benefit is like for the Mount Rushmores is like he just hasn't done it enough.
That's what I mean. I said if he continues at this pace, like when we're like maybe 20 years from now, if he's still this good.
Oh, then yes, yeah.
Don't you think?
On there.
I feel like he just has that trajectory. He could easily totally change. I just feel like he's one of the few that are like you can see him heading to that spot.
Well, it's much like it's a lot like society now, where like everything is like just becoming more and more niche and more specific.
Right. That's
so, like everybody's Mount Rushmore is going to be very different. Like if you're not like I don't know. I feel like in the 90s, like since there wasn't as many stand-ups and like there wasn't as many outlets for people to get up.
Yeah.
Like everybody's like the universal like greatest of all times is like your Pryors, your Carlins, your Seinfelds.
Yeah.
And now like as we move closer to like 2020, like there's so many fucking stand-ups.
Yeah.
There's so many outlets to get your shit out there.
True.
There's so many specials. It's like it's hard to have a universal GOAT.
Yeah.
It's hard to have like universal Mount Rushmore people now.
I know. I just more meant like I think if you had to pick a few people in stand up that are heading on that direction to be a stand up person,
he's definitely heading.
I would say he is, right?
Yeah, especially because you have stuff like Oh Hello, which is like such a it's so different from stand up, and then you have all the SNL writing, and he's had 3 amazing specials. Like he's diversified in where he's fucking hilarious.
And he was like the writer when he was there. Like he was the best writer that wasn't like an active member of the cast.
Yeah, he wasn't the head writer either.
No, it was Seth Meyers most of the time he was there.
Yeah. It's usually the your head writers are usually the Weekend Update people.
It's usually one guy. It's usually Seth Meyers. Because Che and Jost are now the co-head ones.
Yeah,
it's not usually
writers,
that way.
And Che is the first black head writer.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Him and Colin Jost are like besties. Cracks me up, man. They're like real tight.
Yeah. Well, see, like guys like those are all Stellar guys.
Those two are
Cellar Village.
Colin Jost. I feel like he wouldn't be a stand-up guy, but he is.
Yeah,
I knew Michael Che was.
A lot of the head writers are usually stand-ups.
Are they?
Well, except when you have like a Tina Fey and Amy Poehler, but those are like high level. No, I don't think
he's
so.
very much like a
he might have been
like a TV joke writer.
Yeah, he's more of a
like
TV
Conan.
joke writer. Yeah, Conan's never been a stand-up.
He's like that's what I mean. Seth Meyers is like that style of.
Dude, if you look back at some of old of Conan's writers' rooms, it's insane.
Oh, I know. Dude.
Louis was like a head writer for him for a while.
Dino
Xanthopoulos. Then you have guys
Steve Carell, Stephen Colbert.
Yeah, and then
they were on that Dana Carvey show where that was like a crazy room too.
Yeah,
because that was Dino and Louis and who's the guy that does Triumph, the dog?
Oh fuck,
Robert Smigel.
Yeah,
Carell, Colbert. They were all on the Dana Carvey show.
Yeah.
It's a fucking heavy one. Oh, and Bob Odenkirk.
That's what I was trying to think of.
Yeah, that's
But yeah, just those like high level fucking writers' rooms.
So Black Hammer. So why don't you? What would you say is like the overview of the story for Black Hammer?
So basically, you have this like older group of superheroes that are thinking about retiring. They fight one like big boss,
like the biggest they've seen.
Yeah, and after the fighting is over, they all wake up and they're like in this tiny town in like the outskirts of society and maybe this universe.
Yeah.
They're like in a weird like
unknown
pocket universe. It's like in this town that they can't get out of.
Yeah. And they
can't reach the outside world.
Yeah.
The outside world can't reach them.
And when one of them tries to leave, we won't say who, so we don't spoil too much, but when one of them tries to leave, he is torn to shreds.
Yeah. So then they know that they can't leave. Like they can't go past a certain area. And basically this whole first book is them trying to cope with the fact that
they've been there 10 years.
They've been there for 10 years.
Yeah.
But also trying to figure out like what is really the nature of this universe that they're in.
Yeah. Some of them have given up. Some of them have one of them has started to really enjoy it. And then a couple of them are still trying to figure out how to get out.
Figure out how to communicate with the outside world.
And then one of them is just like off in like random parallel universes and he's fucking insane.
Yeah. Colonel
Weird is fucking crazy.
Yeah. Like there's so many great little stories.
Yeah.
In this first issue.
Each character has enough like of a backstory and interesting things about them that they could be their own comic easily.
Oh, by far, yeah.
And obviously it's because we should mention each of these characters is very heavily based on a pre-existing Big Two character.
Is it? Like who's Golden Gale?
Golden Gale Shazam.
Oh, okay.
Because, he's a little boy that says Shazam and she says Zafram. Sorry.
Zafram, yeah.
Colonel Weird is Adam Strange.
Okay.
Barbalian is Martian Manhunter.
Okay.
Abraham Slam is Captain America, a little bit Batman too.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't have a serum or anything. Madam Dragonfly.
Madam Dragonfly, yeah.
She, I would say, is probably Enchantress. She's a little bit more of like a vague one. Talkie Walkie, who's like a robot character. I wouldn't really say there's a lot like him.
There's not many robots in the Big Two.
Especially not his sort of style of robot.
No.
I'm trying to think who else am I missing. And then Black Hammer, he's definitely like an Asgardian.
Thor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you have like offshoots like Dr. Star is 100% the Green Lanterns meets Starman, which is like a really famous comic.
Then you also have the faction that Black Hammer is fighting for. I don't remember what they're called, but it's kind of like Justice
Asgardians.
It's kind of like Justice League-y.
A little bit, yeah. Well, and then Dr. Star is that way too, because like the people that take over for him, they create this whole space police force.
Yeah, it's like a galactic force of like different species of people that are all super powered.
And this is something, especially that Alex had brought up to me. As somebody who's read it for a long time, it hadn't really occurred to me in this way until he said it. And this is something we bring up a lot, but this is something that is so unique that it could only happen in comic books. It's so clearly taken from other stuff.
Yeah. Also, the fact that it's going to be a movie or a TV show, I doubt that it's done correctly.
It is Lemire. I mean, he's doing it, but...
It is, but I think the real challenge is going to be in the level of visual effects you can produce.
Yes.
And it's also going to be... I think the caliber of actor you can get.
Not just that, but I think the biggest thing you're going to have to somehow the hurdle you have to get over is people that aren't comic book readers watching it and being like, well, isn't that just ripped off of this? Saying that it's just a ripoff.
Well, I'm a comic book reader and I couldn't tell who any of those people were based off of.
Oh,
maybe Black Hammer and Abraham Slam, but everybody else I had no idea.
Maybe Shazam, that movie's coming out in a couple
Shazam,
months.
Yeah, I guess, but I mean, I'd never heard of March of the Manhunter.
Martian Manhunter?
Martian Manhunter. I've never heard of that character before.
Oh, did you ever watch the old Justice League cartoons ever?
No.
Really?
No.
Those were huge when we were kids. You don't remember them at all?
No. But
they're massive. Or what about Batman the Animated Series?
I don't think so. I watched like Batman. I watched like Batman, or I watched
Batman Beyond?
Batman Beyond. Yeah, when Bruce Wayne's old.
Yeah, and Terry McGinnis is Batman.
Yeah. I watched that one.
You never watched Batman the Animated Series, like when Mark Hamill was the Joker?
I was more into like Gundam and like all that kind of shit.
They're finally making a Gundam movie, apparently.
Yeah, it should be dope.
Gundam's fucking dope.
Gundam's the coolest.
Gundam's like a way better version of like Transformers and Pacific Rim.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Pacific Rim is so heavily based off of Gundam.
Yeah.
It's not. It's very close.
There was another Gundam one.
Gundam Wing?
No, it was like it was similar.
Oh.
And it was
was it
people hopped in. Like there was like people hopped in and like and controlled him. No, because there was like a white thing that was like a tiger, but it was like a big robot that somebody controlled.
Voltron?
Is that Voltron?
Oh, there are a bunch of tiger like robots, and then they all come together to become Voltron.
I don't know, but
that's a pretty old one though.
I had like a white tiger like Gundam-y thing. That was pretty cool. I had a bunch of like little toy Gundams.
You're more into the robot stuff. Did you like Transformers when you were a kid?
I never watched it as a kid.
Well, yeah, it was before our time.
I watched the movie.
The
Shia LaBeouf movies.
Yeah.
Dude, have you heard about this new Shia LaBeouf movie that's coming out?
Yeah, it's supposed to be good.
It's apparently it's about him, right? Amazing.
Yeah. I'll watch it.
Yeah, and he plays his like abusive, like alcoholic dad.
Yeah, very strange.
I think he directed it too.
I don't think so.
He didn't direct it?
I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure he's directing and starring in it.
Oh, I thought he was. Oh, I thought maybe he wrote it.
I think he wrote it, directed it, and is starring in it.
Oh, okay. I thought he wrote and starred. I didn't know he's directing it. Wow.
Yeah.
Because I saw like a Hollywood Reporter interview with the cast, and I thought that there was somebody else that was the director. But maybe they're a producer or something.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be like his best work ever, and like
that would make sense. You probably would
breakout role of him as like a drama actress.
You probably would want
drama actor,
drama actress,
drama actress.
You don't think his big drama break was Even Stevens?
No, it's Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen.
Oh wow, the worst one. Oh no, the worst one. The worst one of the last two. The most recent two are.
Oh, they're very bad.
They're some of the worst movies that have ever graced screens.
Is it called Honey Boy?
Yes.
Yeah, a child actor works to mend the relationship with his hard-drinking, law-breaking father.
Is he the director?
No, he's not.
Oh, okay.
He wrote it, though.
Yeah.
Alma Harrell is.
Yeah. Okay.
And what has she done?
Wait, let's get back to Black Hammer.
Not much. Yes, Black Hammer. Sorry.
Okay, so Black Hammer. Tangential. Black Hammer is just, I mean, it's just so... It's so riveting because just to read the first volume, you get these deep backstories for each of the characters.
Yeah, and it says so much about who they are as people in just these short little like 2-page scenes with them. Like it just informs so much about them as people before.
Yeah.
Where they like juxtaposed to where they are now. Yes.
And I think the reason that's so interesting too, from a comic book reader's perspective, is these characters so well from the big two versions, you might say, but they're all very one dimensional, like classic superheroes. So they're just pretty good people. Whereas this makes them all like very multifaceted, very like there's a lot of depth to them.
Well, it's also done in the Jeff Lemire way of giving all of them
intense
profoundly sad backstory.
Dude, he's the saddest man.
Every one of their backstories is like a fucking knife to the gut.
Dude,
Golden Gale's backstory
I was gonna say,
is one of the most sad things.
Horrific.
So basically, Golden Gale is like Shazam.
But reversed. Because, he's a little boy that turns into a superhero.
Yeah. So she ages normally. And then whenever she says Ephraim, she turns back into
Golden Gale.
Yeah, who she was when she was like,
girl.
Yeah, 10 years old. And whenever they get when they get teleported, she's like 80.
No, she's like 45.
No, she's old. She's like gray and like crinkly skin because she's retiring.
Yeah, no. I think she's like, she might have been like in her 50s.
She's old.
Because I think she says she's like I think she's in her like late or mid to late 50s in Black Hammer.
I think it's way older than that.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But she's like a much more mature person than a 10-year-old girl.
She's an old person.
Yeah.
And then whenever they get sent back to this small town, she's stuck in the body of
she can't transform
of Golden Gale.
Yeah.
And so to keep up appearances, she still has to go to like elementary school.
Yeah.
She's like this old woman that's like smoking cigarettes
and giving the teacher the finger. And yeah. And it's really sad because she starts to develop feelings for Barbalian, who can transform. He can, like Martian Manhunter, he can like shapeshift. So he looks like a normal person when he's normally around. But then when they're out on their like little farmhouse, like when he's in town, he's a normal person, but at their farmhouse, he looks like his Martian self. And she starts to develop feelings for him, but he's gay and he has feelings for a priest that he meets there in town.
Yeah. And the priest rejects him.
Sad.
Yeah.
Then the Abraham Slam is like,
after all this time, I finally found somebody who I can connect with.
Yeah.
And then the priest rejects him and says like, you shouldn't ever come back here again.
Yeah.
It's very sad.
And Abraham Slam, who's like the oldest one of all of them, he's like in his like mid to late 60s. He like
Colonel Weird's pretty goddamn old.
Oh no, you're right. He's the oldest one. It's not close.
Very old man.
Abraham Slam is he like falls in love and he just like wants to stay. He's just like, well, I'm happy.
Yeah, I think her name's Tammy.
Tammy, yeah. She's like a waitress at the local diner.
Yeah.
Dude, it is. They all have these stories that especially Abraham Slam's, or not Abraham Slam, Colonel Weird. I don't know if you get his story in this first volume. Do you?
I don't
his story
so. I think it's the
is
second.
so
I think it's
good.
The second volume.
Because when you see Colonel Weird now, he's this.
Actually, I think you get a lot of these backstories in the second volume.
Oh, maybe you do. You get some in that first one, I think.
Yeah, you get like Abraham Slams a little bit.
Colonel Weird, when you meet him, he's this very old, like he's sort of like a adventurer who has the ability to like travel through dimensions and all kinds of crazy worlds and live all these crazy things happen. And he's lived so many different lives because some of the places he's gone, time works differently. And when you meet him, he's just out of it. He's just insane.
Out of his fucking mind.
But then you see who he used to be and like how he became who he is. And
he's like this very heroic, courageous.
And so, and then
confident.
And if you go back and read the things he says when he's young, like in the first few issues, because they kind of tell the story from beginning and like get through the stuff you've already read, and you realize some of the stuff he's saying is actually like helpful. He just doesn't know how to say it because he's probably losing his mind.
Yeah.
Oh man, dude, Jeff Lemire just writes the saddest shit.
Yeah, it's kind of like whenever like he's like traveling to all these places, it's kind of like in what's the Stephen King show?
What?
On Hulu?
Oh, Castle Rock.
Yeah, it's kind of like Castle Rock whenever like you go to like the God room or whatever it is, and you just hear like the unadulterated voice of God for a long time, and it like makes you lose your mind.
Yeah.
That's kind of like what's happening to Colonel Weird, like traveling like interdimensionally.
And seeing so many different things.
Or it's like he's in the Ant-Man and the Wasp, like the
Quantum Realm.
The Quantum Realm.
Yeah.
It's like he's traveling through that, and he's like just slowly losing his mind.
And he's also kind of got that like Dr. Manhattan thing where he's seen things that are so much bigger than earthly problems that don't seem important.
Yeah, so betraying people and telling half truths and all that kind of stuff.
I will say
beneficial to him.
Yeah, Black Hammer. It's got some sad stuff, but one of the spinoffs for Black Hammer called Dr. Star and the World of Lost Tomorrows or something like that.
Something like that
is one of the saddest things I have ever read in my life.
There's not really a happy Black Hammer.
No,
and I was thinking about this earlier today. Like, all of our favorite comics are all profoundly sad comics.
Yeah, the best ones are, I feel like.
Kill or Be Killed's really sad.
Yeah.
In its own way.
Even Flintstones is like pretty dark.
Flintstones is very sad.
Yeah. It's a comedy comic.
Yeah. Black Hammer is just, oh boy, that's a depressing one.
Deadly Class.
Deadly Class is kind of sad.
Deadly Class is not pretty sad all the time. Oh.
In volume 1? Volume 1, not
I'm
so
just
much.
thinking of it as a comic as a whole.
Okay, so it's going to get sadder as I go.
Yeah, man.
Why is everybody dying?
A lot of people die.
Okay, everybody's dead.
I'm not going to tell you who. Not everybody. But dude, it's devastatingly sad.
Is Wong still alive?
Wong? Oh yeah, yeah. He's running the school probably.
All right, cool.
And Marcus is still alive.
Oh,
I'll say that.
All right, everybody's dead.
No,
Maria, no.
Saga, no. Saga is also
Mr. Fishy. No,
Mr. Fishy.
We watched a bunch of Badman sketches.
Yeah, so we can't help
with Pete Holmes.
Saga is also very sad, even though that's another funny one that seems happy. A lot of very sad things happen.
A lot of sad one.
It's
Jesus.
Middle West is very sad.
Middle West
we talked about
that one issue.
Well, yeah, I've caught back up a little bit. I think they're only on 4, but it's still very good.
Still sad.
Yeah, it's still very good too.
Gideon Falls is really dark.
Oh, Gideon Falls is super dark.
Yeah.
Oh man, even Southern Bastards, whether you liked it or not, is very dark.
Boo.
Well, we'll talk about it whenever we get Ryland on, which will happen
we still
sometime.
haven't talked about it. We talked. It was like 2 weeks ago. We talked about because I just read it.
Yeah,
and we talked about doing it, but it's just. Fucking hate it.
Yeah, it's not that bad at all. I liked it. There's so many other books. So sad. Batman Hush is not. It's more of just a good comic book of the ones we've talked about on this podcast.
Yeah,
dude. I mean, yeah, that's craziness. I think the funny thing too is like they're sad and they're also not like most of the ones we like the most are not at all like superheroes. They're not like comic books really. What you would think of as comic books.
It's just stories told through comics.
Yeah, some of them have like weird like action spins to them. But what was that?
My phone just fell off the couch.
Oh, cool. Damn you.
We're at about like 1:53.
Yeah, we should wrap her up.
All right, let's wrap her up.
We talked about we told ourselves we were going to talk about pop punk again.
We still didn't.
We're doing it next time.
All right,
it's happening.
Next time we'll talk about pop punk.
Yes,
but in the meantime, Nick is going to watch Abducted in Plain Sight, and that might truly take the entire show.
It could. I feel like that those two topics will probably take the whole thing.
No, I literally think we will be able to talk about Abducted for the entire show.
All right, I'm interested.
If you haven't watched it, go on Netflix. Abducted in Plain Sight.
Yes.
I kid you not. If you've ever listened to if you're a big true crime person, if you're just into any kind of fucked up story, this is the most fucked up. This is the craziest, and nobody dies.
That's insane. Yeah. I know what happens, and I know how crazy it is. Well, I don't know what happens. I know some of the tidbits of it.
Yeah,
and I'm interested to see how it all comes together.
I gave you a few little nibs just to get you.
Yeah, you and one of my coworkers
put some chum in the water just to get you all frothed up.
Yeah, I know. You two have got me to the point where I'm like, I need to know.
Oh, it's so good.
I know.
Yeah,
I think especially if we do those two topics, we'd have a 3-hour podcast.
Yeah,
pop punk. We could talk about that forever.
We can talk about pop punk for a couple hours.
Yeah.
Well, our talking about pop punk is remember this song, and then you play a minute of it, and you just go, "Oh yeah,
yeah." It's a good bit. Yeah, it's a good bit. Newfound Glory's coming, guys. We should all go.
Yeah. We'll be talking about Seosin, Silverstein,
Senses Fail,
Escape the Fate.
Yes,
Bullet for My Valentine.
Oh, for sure. Say Anything.
Cute
is what we aim for. Panic at the Disco.
Nickelback.
Fall Out Boy. Nickelback. Yeah. Hanson.
Yellow Card.
Oh, Yellow Card. Blink-182.
If we're talking Yellow Card, we got to talk Switchfoot. We got to talk Hoobastank.
We got to be talking about Hoobastank and POD.
Hoobastank. What's POD?
You don't remember POD?
No.
They do Youth of the Nation.
Oh,
you know that song?
No.
Or Alive. I Feel So Alive. For the very first time. I think I Could Fly.
That song's fucking dope.
That's them.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, is it? It's fucking dope?
Yeah, that song's dope.
That song's fucking dope.
Yeah.
We could probably do.
For the very first time.
And I think I could fly.
Well, we can also talk about Sugar Ray, Smash Mouth.
Sugar Ray, Smash Mouth. We could talk about Creed.
Okay, let's stop making lists.
Yeah.
Catch us next week.
Yeah. Hit us up on Instagram at Auggiepanyu, AUGGIEPANU.
Yeah.
And
at the Nicholas Lanham, THENICKLANHAM.
THENICKLAN.
That's from words again. All right.
Mickey Mouse.
We'll talk to you guys next week. Bye.
Okay, bye.